There's David Trout, the place kicker for the Philadelphia Stars. As you can see, he's 8 for 15 on his field goals. Missed a couple extra points a few weeks ago, but last week had a good game in the big win over the Chicago Blitz. Your deep man, number 21, is Marcus Bonner, and number 23, Michael Ulmer. And we're all ready for the opening kickoff here at Alamo Stadium. Watch for an onside. I smell the possibility of an onside kick here, Kevin Kiley, and absolutely not. But they will have one sooner or later today. That's going to be Ulmer, taking it about the 3, up to the 15, up to the 25, cuts back in, and he's down close to the 30-yard line. Good field position on the opening play. Booker Russell among the others on the special team coming down. A 26-yard return for Ulmer. And now the San Antonio Gunslingers offense with Rick Neuheisel at quarterback. Your running backs are Al Penwhite and Scott Stamper. NFL veteran Danny Buggs is one of your wideouts. Jerry Gordon is the other. So they'll start with good field position. You can call it really the 29-yard line. The ball is just behind that. Lee Spivey, Rich Garza, Bill Winters, Arlen Thompson, and Ralph Williams, your interior linemen. Joey Hackett, your tight end. So Rick Neuheisel will lead UCLA to a big Rose Bowl victory. Will put the ball into play for the San Antonio Gunslingers. Give is to Stamper. He's going up the middle, picks up almost 4 yards, maybe 4.5 as he gets up near the 33.
Well, they're starting out conservatively, and I think that's what you're going to see from San Antonio. You're not supposed to go back or forth when you look in football, but they have to worry about last week's game against Chicago, and Philadelphia got all those points.
Okay, Kevin, for the Doghouse defense, William Fuller, Pete Kugler, and Don Fielder are your up front guys. John Bunning, Glenn Howard, Sam Mills, and George Cooper behind them are the linebackers, and then the defensive backfield, Garcia Lane, Jonathan Sutton, Antonio Gibson, and Mike Lutz. We'll call it 2nd down and 6 for the San Antonio Gunslingers. Well, that is not exactly what was on the drawing board. That's not the kind of a play that's going to bring a smile to the face of Gil Steinke. What happened there, Kevin Kiley?
Well, the back is set wide on the offside of the offensive play. He's got to come a long way across the formation. You can't see him. He's so wide, he's out of your picture. Now watch him. He goes deep. Philadelphia has read it, and they come up and make the hit. The reason for that is probably he had to go a long way across the formation.
Going to be a 3rd and 7 with the ball just nosing over the San Antonio 31-yard line. A passing situation for the Gunslingers right here. Neuheisel is back to pass. He's looking to his left, and he's got a man coming out of the backfield. That's going to be good for a 1st down. It was complete. George Cooper in there on the tackle, and a 1st down for the San Antonio Gunslingers.
Problem with Neuheisel has been that he hasn't set up quick enough or released the ball fast enough as a rookie. But watch him here. He does both of those things. He sets up and gets rid of it early, doesn't give the defensive back a chance to close, and they have a 1st down. That's got to be a confidence builder for the Gunslingers. That was Donnie Roberts, who comes in as a situation running back, came out of the backfield, got the completion for the 1st down. 1st and 10 Gunslingers there at their own 44. That's Stamper going to the right side. He's one of those up-the-middle runners, gets a couple. And once again, George Cooper, who's been on almost every tackle so far for the Stars, brings him down. Scott Stamper is a small, strong back, Kevin. San Antonio has had a problem through the weeks. They lost their offensive coordinator a few weeks ago because of philosophical differences with the head coach, Stanky. Stamper is one of those backs that can get it for you if you keep it simple. Stanky now is the offensive coordinator. He's simplified the offense. Appears to be working well early this afternoon.
Okay, your wideouts are Danny Buggs and Jerry Gordon, but they're going to keep it on the ground right up the middle, a very basic running game once again, and that is Stamper. He is a workhorse running back, comes from a small college, Fort Lewis, Colorado College. Sam Mills from the Doghouse defense on the stop. It's going to bring up a 3rd down for the San Antonio Gunslingers. It'll be 3rd, and they're going to call it 2 yards to go.
Great acquisition, Don, for the San Antonio team has been Bill Winters. He's been the starting center in both of their victories, and he cleared out the middle very well on that play.
Okay, Neuheisel turned around. You saw him talking to his running backs. He's got Al Penwhite and Scott Stamper in the backfield right now. Penwhite shifts a little bit there to the left. Neuheisel back to pass on a 3rd and short, and it's knocked down. Big number 96, Don Fielder, the defensive end out of Kentucky, got those hands up. That's what you want to do when you're a rushing defensive lineman.
Neuheisel had 2 plays, 2 passes knocked down, deflected, and intercepted. Let's take a look at this by a nose guard. He's got a height problem. He's only 6 feet tall. To you at home, that may seem tall enough. In pro football, that's what happens. Defensive back standing there, and that's an interception.
All right, Ken Hartley in punt formation for the Gunslingers. Tommy Donovan is your up man. Your deep man is Garcia Lane for the Philadelphia Stars. He's standing on about his 36-yard line. High snap, but he gets it, takes his time, and gets the punt off. End over end, coming down to Garcia Lane. He doesn't like the fair catch. Maybe there he should have liked the fair catch as he got buried, took the ball at about his 16-yard line, got knocked right back down at the 14, so the Stars will start deep in their own territory. Ray Waddy was the man who came down and made the hit as we take a look at the Texas Roses, the Gunslingers cheerleaders. All right, the Philadelphia Stars will operate on offense with this lineup. Chuck Fusina, Alan Harvin, David Riley are the guys in the backfield. Scott Fitzke and Willie Collier are your two wideouts. The offensive line looks like this. Mike McLaren and George Gilbert. Bardos, Chuck Comiskey and Irv Eatman. Steve Folsom, a tight end who has 28 catches already this year. That's more than he had in the entire 1983 season. Single back. That's Scott Fitzke in motion. The pitch is to Harvin. Harvin turns it upfield, and he's out over the 20-yard line. Alan Harvin from Willingboro, New Jersey, is going to have to be the guy who does a lot of work today with Kelvin Bryant hurt. Tommy Tabor and Putt Choate in on the tackle. Here's that San Antonio Gunslingers defense up front. Mike St. Clair, Paul Hanna, Kenny Gillen, and Terry Monroe. You only have two what they call linebackers in Putt Choate and Rich D'Amico. You have 5 defensive backs, they say. Mike Ulmer, John Bearfield, Peter Rayford, Rock Richmond, and Maurice Tyler. But Bearfield goes at about 230. He's what they call a gunslinger or a rover. He is a linebacker playing in a defensive backfield slot. Single back once again. And the give is again to Harvin. Over the left side, picks up only a couple, still will be short of the first down. Putt Choate from Southern Methodist is a good football player, and he'll be in on a lot of tackles, Kevin Kiley.
He sure will. The Gunslingers protect their linebackers. Remember, I told you early on, this is a college type of defense. It's a 4-4, actually, and they've got a lot of help up front. What it amounts to is about an 8-man line. What you look at normally in pro football is that 3-4, and it's got to be new to Philadelphia. They may have trouble blocking it.
All right, third down, 4 yards to go for the Philadelphia Stars. You have both Scott Fitzke and Tom Donovan in the game, along with Willie Collier, 3 wide receivers. Collier is in the slot to the right. You have 2 backs behind Chuck Fusina, David Riley and Alan Harvin. Fusina's back to pass. He's looking for David Riley. He's got him. He'll be out over the 31st down, jukes a couple of people, gets extra yardage all the way out close to the 37. David ducked Riley with a good second effort.
Well, they were faking the blitz here, and D'Amico was standing in the middle, number 51. You'll see him at the right side of your screen. He was faking the blitz. He was late getting out on the coverage, and this man is wide open. D'Amico has the coverage. He's coming up outside of your screen now, but he was about 10 or 12 yards outside of the coverage, and that's something that the 4-4 doesn't do. Doesn't cover the short pass up the field all that well.
All right, it's a 14-yard pickup, 1st and 10 for the Philadelphia Stars. They're operating at their own 37-yard line. Once again, you have 2 backs in the backfield on this play. Chuck Fusina calling the signals at quarterback. Chuck Fusina back to pass on 1st down. He's looking to his tight end, Steve Folsom, and he has him, and Folsom holds on. It'll be close to the 40-yard line, so it's a short gain, but Steve Folsom hung on to a ball that a lot of guys might have dropped because he was really hit by a guy with the wonderful name of Rock Richmond, and now one of the San Antonio Gunslingers is down on the play.
Gunslingers can't afford to lose people. They're not all that deep on defense. They've run a lot of people through camp, 100 to 140 players just on the defensive end of their
squad. From Mike Barry on the sidelines. 2nd and 7 on the 40-yard line. Philadelphia Stars operating in their own territory. That's Chuck Fusina and Alan Harvin. The second back through. He gets a couple out to around the 42-yard line. In on the tackle for the San Antonio Gunslingers, Ken Gillen, number 76.
Slingers defense, the philosophy of defense is you have to take something away from the offense, especially if you're an underdog. This is a good running attack that Philadelphia has, not as good as with Kelvin Bryant in, but they're pretty tough on the ground. If they can take that away, either up the middle or outside, force them to pass, make them predictable, San Antonio's got a shot at this game.
It's a 3rd and 5 situation for the Philadelphia Stars. Once again, we have 3 wide receivers. Fitzke wide to the right with Collier in the slot. Wide to the left, Tom Donovan. Chuck Fusina may be calling an automatic at the line of scrimmage here as he's screaming out to his wide receivers. Once again, Harvin and Riley behind him. Fusina is coming over to the right for Willie Collier. He can't hold on, and the Philadelphia Stars are going to have to punt.
It's exactly what San Antonio has to do to win the game. That Bearfield at the outside linebacker position is a very good athlete. He'll blitz here. This is an overload blitz. They're sending everybody. Makes Fusina read early, and Collier has to read that and turn around. He didn't turn around, drop the ball, so San Antonio holds.
There he is, Dr. Doom, John Bearfield. And right now, the Philadelphia Stars are going to punt the ball. Sean Landetta gets the punt away. A very high kick. Mike Ulmer running over around his own 15. It's going to go out of bounds right in front of him. So they will start with their offensive possession deep in their own territory. Once again, we have 8 minutes and 4 seconds to go in a scoreless first quarter between the San Antonio Gunslingers and the Philadelphia Stars. We'll be back with more USFL football right after this. We're back in San Antonio, Texas, scoreless between the Gunslingers and the Philadelphia Stars. Don Tollefson, Kevin Kiley, and Mike Berry, hoping your Easter Sunday afternoon is a very pleasant one. The Gunslingers will start at their own 16.5-yard line. Rick Neuheisel on the give there to Al Penwhite, and Penwhite is off to the right side, a pickup of a couple of yards. Let's check out what exactly happened with Jim Bob Morris, the injured San Antonio Gunslinger. Here's Mike Berry. Michael?
Don, Jim Bob Morris is in a lot of pain down here. What he has is a stretched nerve down his left arm out of his shoulder. It's touch and go now, whether or not he'll be back in the ball game. They're taping him up right now. It's a recurring injury, and it's very painful. Don?
Thank you, Mike. Mike Berry will be roaming the sidelines for us all afternoon with injury reports and interviews with key players. All right, the Gunslingers have a 2nd and an 8. They're operating at their own 19-yard line. Rick Neuheisel is your quarterback once again. And he's taken a long time calling signals, and now he wants a timeout. So the San Antonio Gunslingers have a little confusion offensively on that 2nd down and 8 play from just inside their own 20-yard lines as we see some Easter Sunday fans here in the Lone Star State. Here you have Neuheisel coming over to the sideline. How much does a coach, Kevin, hate to use a timeout that he didn't have to use?
He'd rather use a timeout than fumble it or throw an interception. Neuheisel's a rookie, remember that, and you had a lot of bouncing. There was a player that was looking like he was going to blitz. I think Neuheisel had that single back in the backfield, which is not a usual set for San Antonio. They had something in mind, and he questioned whether or not that player
lost to the Michigan Panthers. Kaharick was let go, and now they say that their offense is more simplified. They say that they're not trying to do as many things, but there was a bit of a power struggle in the San Antonio organization, and the head coach, Gil Steinke, is now taking over the play calling. All right, once again, it is 2nd down and 8 inside the San Antonio 20. Rick Neuheisel with Scott Stamper and Don Roberts in the backfield behind him. Neuheisel with the play action, and he is under a big rush. Donnie Fielder with the sack. Don Fielder, the big man who blocked the pass earlier in the first possession for San Antonio, came out of nowhere. Neuheisel nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
It's an I formation. You run play action out of the I formation. As soon as that end sees number 43 doesn't have the ball, see play action, as soon as he sees he's gone up the middle without the ball, he's coming. Neuheisel just happened to be drifting to that side, caused him some problems because he had to run with it and he wasn't fast enough to get away.
Okay, we're going to call it 3rd down and 20 yards to go for the San Antonio Gunslingers. Might say it's a passing situation. Danny Buggs, 88, Jerry Gordon, 22, are the two guys to look for if they go to one of the wideouts. Rick Neuheisel, and it's going to be a running play just to Don Roberts inside. Roberts breaks it out for a good gain, but it's going to be far short of the 1st down. They tried to cross up the doghouse defense. They gave up some yardage, but not the 1st down. Scotty Warner, number 25, one of the guys in making the tackle.
This is a good call from San Antonio, and the reason is they haven't had a problem with turnovers this year. They don't score a lot of points, but they don't turn the ball over. Why give a great defense an opportunity to pick you off? Take a shot at it. This was a good shot. As Roberts got in the open, he just didn't have the speed to outrun the defense.
All right, Scotty Warner started the tackle, and then Don Fielder, who seems to be everywhere, wrapped it up. It's a San Antonio punting situation. Big, big rush. He gets it off. Ken Hartley, Garcia Lane waiting for it. Now he's going to fair catch it. He does that between the 47 and the 48. It'll be good field possession when the Philadelphia Stars begin their 2nd offensive possession. Once again, we are scoreless with 6:10 to go in the 1st quarter from San Antonio's Alamo Stadium.
If you want it,
I like it.
Scored 31 points in the 1st quarter against the Blitz. Before that, they'd scored only 17 1st quarter points all season. But right now, they are scoreless. Coming into the game, number 84, Herbert Harris, a game breaker, as they have 3 wide receivers in this 1st down situation. They may be looking for him. Chuck Fusina has a single back behind them, so it looks like they're going to come out in 1st down and go deep. Chuck Fusina with good protection. He's looking over there on the left side. That was intended for number 86, Willie Collier, and it was just beyond his grasp. It'll be 2nd down and 10 to go.
Well, you take what the defense gives you, and Philadelphia wants to throw the ball on 1st down because San Antonio's playing that college defense. They're stacking the people. They want to isolate on these linebackers. They call them safeties, but, you know, Mother Nature makes you 240 pounds. At least for now, you're a linebacker, and that's what they've got in there. So they tried to do that on that play, but San Antonio's up to the challenge. Their defense is playing very well.
We're seeing a lot of formations for the Philadelphia Stars. This time, Scott Fitzke started out in the backfield, is now in the slot on the left side. David Riley and Harvin behind Fusina. Now Fitzke in motion to the right. The give is to Harvin, 2nd back through. He's up close to midfield. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Philadelphia Stars.
The motion man there was outside, and what they're trying to do out of that I formation is pull somebody out of the defensive secondary and break it up the middle. But again, San Antonio's strength is up the middle, and of course Harvin there, his strength is running up the middle. So it's going to be man-to-man here, and the offensive line for Philadelphia is going to have to get it together, figure out how to block this defense.
In on that play defensively for the Gunslingers, Rich D'Amico, who was on the Stars roster a year ago, did not play for the Stars, but he's one of a couple of Penn Staters right here on this San Antonio team. Third down efficiency, you see the Stars convert on almost 50%. It is 3rd and 8 as they're close to midfield. Chuck Fusina back to pass. He's looking to his right side. He's flushed out in the pocket under a big rush, gets it off to Fitzke, complete inside the 40-yard line. First down, Philadelphia Stars.
Remember what we said at the head of the show. Chuck Fusina doesn't get all the credit, but when you're going bad, not getting first downs, he's the type of guy that can do something extra, and there he does. He pumps, he comes outside, gives his receiver time to clear, and on the run, fires a strike for a first down.
So the Philadelphia Stars will now operate close to the 38-yard line of the Gunslingers. We're scoreless, first down and 10, 4 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the first quarter. Willie Collier is in as one of 2 wide receivers. He's to the left. Scott Fitzke going in motion behind Chuck Fusina to that left side as well right now. The give is to Alan Harvin. He's going to go over the right side behind 2 of the offensive linemen, Irv Eatman and Chuck Comiskey. Mike St. Clair ties him up after a short gain for the San Antonio Gunslingers.
One of the things that defensive coordinator Jim Bates said when we met with him yesterday was that his unit, although they move in and out a lot of people, they play as a unit, as a team. They don't have great football players on the San Antonio defense, but his philosophy and the way they handle that philosophy makes them a good defensive unit. 5th in the league, and they're doing a heck of a job against a very strong Philadelphia offense.
And you have to be confident coming off a shutout against the Jacksonville Bulls team that has put some points on the board this year. Chuck Fusina 3 for 5, 30 yards. He's got a 2nd and 8 situation right now. Fitzke is in motion once again. Fusina gives to Alan Harvin. Chuck Comiskey pulling in front of him. Harvin is jammed up around the 35-yard line. Maurice Tyler, number 42, is involved in the play. We see Maurice right there. It'll bring up 3rd and long for the Philadelphia Stars.
Let's take a look at this from the end zone. This is a counter draw, a very hard play to defend against. Look at all the blue shirts. Look how they react to this. 51 and 55 take off immediately. There's a man out there on contain. He turns it inside, and look at all the blue shirts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue shirts on a wide play for no gain. That's playing defense.
As we look at Maurice Tyler, we have a 3rd and 7 situation for the Philadelphia Stars. Tom Donovan is one of the 2 wide receivers over to your left side. Scott Fitzke is on the right side. Willie Collier, it's a 3 wide receiver set. Single back, Alan Harvin behind Chuck Fusina. Chuck Fusina is back to pass. He's looking over the middle. Coming out there, you have Herbert Harris, number 84. And I think Herbert Harris has not only held on, I think he's got the first down as well. Now, there's a young man out of Lamar College where the Philadelphia Stars coaching staff, Carl Smith, one of the members of that staff, picked him up to come to the Stars since he'd had him in college. Kevin Kiley, tell us what happened on the play.
Well, let's watch Herbert Harris on a crossing pattern as he comes into your screen here. There he is on the crossing pattern. See the man trailing him as man-to-man. He's going to get help right there from Rock Richmond, and Rock puts the rock on him, but a little bit too late as he gets a first down. Crossing pattern can be tough, excuse me, Don, on this type of defense.
A couple of great names on that defense, Rock Richmond and Putt Choke. So the Philadelphia Stars have done a couple of good things on 3rd down today as they've gotten first downs on conversions with the passing game primarily. Willie Collier on the first down play right there as they're deep in San Antonio territory. And right now, I think what they're trying to do is mix things up as one of the Gunslingers, Rock Richmond, is down on the play as we take a look at the University of Pittsburgh's Willie Collier. Up and about, but he's the 2nd defensive back to go down today. What happened on the play, Kevin Kiley?
Well, Rock made the hit on the play before this. He might have been stunned. And just what you imagine that feels like at home, that's exactly what it feels like. When you stick your head in there and get it bent back, you want to lay down for a little bit. He's all right.
He'll be back in action soon. Just got his bell rung a little bit. 2nd down and 6 for Chuck Fusina and his Stars operating at the 23-yard line of the Gunslingers. That's Herbert Harris in motion. The fake is to Riley. The give is to Alan Harvin. Turns the corner. He's got that good speed, got the corner, picked up a couple of yards. Some guys with not that speed would have been in a situation where they would have been forced out of bounds before turning the corner. Peter Rayford finally tied him up on the play.
Not supposed to be able to run wide against this defense. And Harvin does a good job here because he accelerates. He's kind of picking his spot. He gets out of the outside the defense just a bit, but look at the pursuit here. And they hold him short of the first down. That's great pursuit on a wide play by San Antonio, and a good job by Harvin.
All right, we're going to have about a 3rd and a short 2 to go for the Philadelphia Stars as they're deep inside the Gunslingers territory. They're operating right around the 18-yard line. David Riley, Alan Harvin are behind Chuck Fusina. Tight formation, lots of blockers up front. Herbert Harris in motion to the left. and gives to Harvin over the right side, and I don't think he got it. He is not going to get the first down unless they give him the famous left foot measurement. Which foot will the official use to mark the ball as Terry Monroe came up with the stop?
Short yardage defense, your job is to pile it up on the line of scrimmage. Let those linebackers, they're active, let them get in there. And a good job on penetration there. The linebacker comes up and makes the hit. And I can't tell whether or not it's a first down as yet, but that's pretty good defense. The thing to watch on Philadelphia, they seem to be running away from their own motion, trying to drag that defensive back the other way and run back against the motion. If San Antonio picks that up, they could make some big plays.
All right, we're within the last minute of the first quarter, and the Philadelphia Stars are going to try to get 3 points on the board, courtesy of David Trout. He's 8 for 15 on the season. Tim Reardon, now the Temple is his holder. It's going to be a 36-yard attempt, and there was some trouble with the snap. Tim Reardon had a problem getting the ball down. You never know whether it's directly the center's fault or the man holding the ball, but when they're not all in coordination, it makes it tough on the timing, and it's no good from 36 yards out.
When I played defense, it was always the defense that forced these kicks wide, whether they got their hands on it or not. I don't know if that's the case. We can't see from there, but it seems like he overkicked it and yanked it a little bit to the left. At any rate, it's still zip-zip.
So with the score 0-0 and 32 seconds to go in this scoreless first quarter, we'll be back with more right after this timeout. Not a misprint. The heavily favored Philadelphia Stars are tied with the San Antonio Gunslingers. We told you in the pregame show that the Gunslingers' bounty hunter defense is a good one. So far in the first quarter they have shown that. We're going to have one more play in this first quarter as San Antonio operates from their 20-yard line. Your quarterback once again is Rick Neuheisel. Neuheisel with the play action. He's going to roll to his right. He's looking back down the middle of the field. Gets off a good strong toss and a completion for a first down outside the 30. So the Philadelphia Stars give up a first down completion right there to number 81. That's your tight end Joey Hackett, a big guy at 6'4", 256. But Neuheisel zinged the ball in there, Kevin.
One of the problems with San Antonio's offense was they were too predictable. Here they go with the split backs on first down. Neuheisel buys enough time to throw, and look at him set himself. Both feet, sets himself, and bang, he's able to fire that thing in to Joey Hackett.
So the first quarter at Alamo Stadium has ended with your score. The San Antonio Gunslingers nothing, the Philadelphia Stars. Don Tollison, Kevin Kiley, and Mike Barry back at Alamo Stadium, San Antonio, Texas. As we begin the second quarter, the San Antonio Gunslingers, 1st and 10, operating just inside their own 35. Neuheisel's going to pass again, over the middle, looking once again for Hackett, in and out of his hands. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Mike Barry is along the sidelines with Put Cho to the Gunslingers defense. Michael?
Don, just a week ago, the Stars set the USFL record with 31 points in the first quarter. Today, they come up empty. A big series, Put showed for you in the Gunslingers defense.
Well, so far, the only thing they've got is on 3rd and 10. They've got a few crucial quick passes on us, and other than that, I believe we're stopping them on the run. We just need to stop them on the pass now.
Thank you, Put. Don, this defense down here plays with a lot of heart. They are very much together upstairs.
You got it. The bounty hunter defense, they call themselves. And now the offense has the ball. 2nd down and 10. Rick Neuheisel, Danny Buggs, and Jerry Gordon are the 2 wideouts on the play. Behind him, Scott Stamper and Don Roberts. That is Stamper with a short game at the middle. And there's a penalty flag that came in right at the end of the play. So something happened that offended one of the officials. In that first quarter, let's check out statistically what happened. Of course, most importantly, nothing on the scoreboard. Very few first downs, very little yardage. Only 50 total for the Stars, 37 for the Gunslingers. You see the time of possession. Philadelphia had the ball for most of the first quarter, but the 2 defenses doing a good job and almost nothing cranked up offensively in the first 15 minutes of football. They're marching it off against the San Antonio Gunslingers. Let's get the call from the field right now.
Holding, offense, number 60, 2nd down.
Football players always say they gave me hands so I could use them. But when they use them, sometimes the officials take offense, and that penalty sets San Antonio deeper back in their own territory. They're going to have to operate now from close to their own 25. It's going to bring up a 20-yard 2nd down situation. Stamper is the single back behind Rick Neuheisel. Neuheisel with a long count, and he is back to pass. He's got Danny Buggs to his right, but he's going over the middle, almost intercepted in and out of the hands of Mike Lush, number 27 for the Philadelphia Stars. He had a gimme, but he just couldn't hold on, and he's usually a very dependable hands-type person.
Watch Scott Stamper, number 30, in the backfield. Watch where he goes. He's wide open on this play, and Neuheisel, just a rookie, never looks to that side. He tries to go up the middle, and he overthrows just a little bit, but you'll see that play again. Stamper took a step up. He was a safety valve, and he could have gone for big yardage on that play. A nice defensive play by Lush, but he's the safety, and it was overthrown. It should go right to him.
Okay, Mike Lush is the free safety, the center fielder, if you will. It brings up a 3rd down and 20 yards to go for the San Antonio Gunslingers. Once again, Stamper is your single back behind Rick Neuheisel. 3rd and long, obvious passing situation. Neuheisel is going to run out of trouble, gets up near the line of scrimmage, and he finds a receiver for a 1st down. Just a great diving catch. That was number 43, Don Roberts, who had lined up in the slot, came out and makes the reception. They're going to call it a 1st down close to midfield. So Rick Neuheisel does the job after he had a scramble.
This is the same play to the other side. See, here's Roberts right at the corner of your screen. He runs a little curl pattern. Neuheisel has Stamper to the near sideline, but instead he wants to go upfield. There, you'll see it better here as he comes up, throws on the run very well, and that's just a great catch by Roberts for a 1st down, big 1st down.
That's Stamper on the give up the middle. He's into Philadelphia Stars territory. Pickup of about 3 or 4 yards. Going to bring up a 2nd and around 6 to go. Buddy Moore wrapping up Scott Stamper on the run right there.
We talked about the fact that they simplified their offense, and we may have brushed over that a bit. That's a very important thing. If you know what you have to do, you can do it a lot better. And apparently there was some confusion in the past for San Antonio. They have not been productive, but they certainly are moving the ball today.
This time Neuheisel has sent both of his wideouts. That's Buggs and Gordon. They're out to the left side. Neuheisel talked to them before he came up behind his center, and he's got a 2nd down and 6 situation. Coming out of the backfield, that is Marcus Bonner over to the right side. They use Stamper, as you see, an awful lot. He had 96 yards, as we saw a moment ago in the game against Jacksonville. The other running backs don't carry the ball that often. Marcus Bonner only has 174 yards on the season. John Bunning and Sam Mills were in on the tackle for the Doghouse D.
This team only rushes for an average of 117 yards a game. They have not been an offensive threat. 20 points, I believe, was the most they scored all year, and that was last week.
All right, Neuheisel has a 3rd down and 5 situation. The ball just about touching the Philadelphia Stars 45-yard line. He has the 2 running backs, Bonner and Stamper behind him. The fake on the play action. Neuheisel's going to put it up. It goes the wrong way behind his receiver. Everybody in the stadium wants a flag. Now there's some pushing and shoving. That was intended for number 22, Jerry Gordon. So take a look at Marcus Bonner right there. He wanted a flag because he thought his teammate was interfered with. Jonathan Sutton was the person doing what they thought was illegal here in San Antonio, although he disagreed.
I don't believe this is interference. I think the ball's thrown wide. Both players, once it leaves his hands, have an opportunity to get it, and that ball's past him before the defensive back, number 26, hits him, so it's a good call.
All right, it brings up a 4th down punting situation. Ken Hartley's your punter. Garcia Lane, your Stars return man. Hartley's going to try to angle this one for the sidelines. Garcia Lane comes up, gets the fair catch, goes down on his knees, and the Philadelphia Stars will take over inside their 20-yard line. We still don't have any points on the board with 12:34 to go in the 2nd quarter from San Antonio, Texas. They're going to start deep in their own territory at the 18-yard line. Once again, we have 12 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the half. Chuck Fusina is your quarterback. Behind him in the backfield, David, Duck Riley, and Alan Harvin. Fusina back to pass. He's looking for Willie Collier. He almost had Collier. Collier got bumped. That was number 29, Rock Richmond, coming up to put the hit on Collier. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
On defense, what you want to do is you want to get out there and close. Now, we'll take a look at Fusina. This is just straight drop back. He makes a nice play, gets the ball out there, hits him in the chest, but it's the defense that makes the play, and maybe a little bit early there as Rock had his hands on Collier's waist. But, hey, that's good defense when they don't complete a pass like that.
Yeah, I think the contact there was earlier than the one with John Sutton, but of course the fans here aren't going to boo their own guys when the contact might be called against them. 2nd down and 10 for the Philadelphia Stars, operating once again at their 18-yard line. The backs are split behind Chuck Fusina, and once again he is going back to pass. He's looking to his right side. Fitzke is wide open. He twinkle toes on the sidelines, keeps the feet in bounds. A big 1st down. He's finally run out by Rock Richmond.
Lots of time on that play to throw the ball. Let's take a look why. Remember, Irv Eatman out of UCLA. He's all USFL and a terrific player, number 75. He's the right tackle for Philadelphia. Let's see him pick up the defensive end. Yes, you can use your hands in this league, as Irv Eatman does there. If you've seen it right behind him, good completion of Piskey for a first down.
22-yard completion. Chuck Fusina is 6 for 9 and 64 yards on the afternoon. Steve Folsom, the tight end, shifts over to the right side. Herbert Harris is in the game once again as another wide receiver, but the give is to Alan Harvin over the right side. Pickup of a couple will bring up probably 2nd down and 7. As Terry Monroe and Frank Case, the former Philadelphia Star, combined to bring down Alan Harvin.
They're running behind Comiskey and Irv Eatman on the right side, as we see there. Eatman takes on the defensive end Case. Case makes a nice play as he spins, but that's vintage Harvin. He spins the other way and picks up 2 yards. Good running. There was nothing there, and Harvin makes something out of it.
All right, we're going to call it 2nd down and a long 7 right now for the Philadelphia Stars. Frank Case, the defender, played for the Stars last year. He went to Penn State, grew up in the Philadelphia area, went to Central Bucks West High School. But Chuck Fusina back to pass, avoids the rush. He was looking for David Duck Riley, incomplete. He's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation as Rich D'Amico, another former Penn Stater, defending on the play.
Jim Bates, defensive coordinator for the Gunslingers, speaking of Gunslingers, said that he would do anything he had to do to stop Philadelphia's offense, and that included blitzing just about everybody on the field. On that play, Fusina escaped a backside hit by just inches as they had a backside blitz coming on. We'll see more of that. They haven't done all that much because their defense has been able to hold them, but we'll see more of that.
All right, we're going to have a 3rd down and 7 yards to go for the Philadelphia Stars. Once again on the 3rd and long, the obvious passing situation. You have 3 wideouts, Fitzke, Collier, and Tommy Donovan. Chuck Fusina under center. Behind him, Harvin and Riley. Fusina straight back to pass. He's looking over to his left side for Harvin. The flag's going to come down on that, folks. That contact was definitely before the ball got there. Number 23, Mike Ulmer, is the guilty party.
This is a real tough call and a tough thing to see from up here. It's pass interference. And we'll see as Fusina goes back down. Now let's see if he hits him before or after he gets the ball. Fusina hangs it up. And they both have the right to go for it. That's a tough call from here. I guess it's close enough to call it, but a bad break for the Slingers defense. So they give up a 1st down on a penalty, and that'll demoralize you.
And here's the call from the field.
Pass interference, defense, number 23, 1st down.
Call from referee Percy Penn. They have the choice in the USFL of wearing shorts or long pants. Even though it's a nice warm day, I said, Percy, why did you wear the long pants? He said, if you saw my legs, you'd know why I wore the long pants. They're not going with the shorts that some of the referees are wearing. All right, the pitch is back to Alan Harvin, and he is just wrapped up as number 23, Mike Ulmer, acquits himself from the previous penalty, comes up and makes the good tackle, and he finishes the play off.
This is a great play by Fields. Watch Fields, number 99. He's going to come in here and dive and take out the interference. See him, Fields, there as he forces him deep. And then that's that great Gunslinger defense. Look, 3 blue shirts would have made that tackle if he wasn't dragged down for a loss. They've taken something away from Philadelphia. They've taken that great running game away and forcing them to pass on 1st down. And that's a good sign for San Antonio.
2nd down and 10 for the Philadelphia Stars, operating at the Gunslingers' 43-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the near side, Tommy Donovan and Willie Collier in the slot. Scott Fitzke, your wide receiver to the right, and Fusina looking to his right, and he is going to be just nailed by the same gentleman, Mike Ulmer. He goes for the hat trick, a penalty, a tackle, and a sack in 3 consecutive plays.
Ulmer is 190 pounds, and they ask him to play a position which is as close to a linebacker position as you can get. He's the same type of combination player that Bearfield is. Now watch Ulmer, number 23 on the right side of your screen. He's coming all the way. They know Philadelphia is going to throw the ball. They send Ulmer. Fusina turns his back on him. The block doesn't get out there, and that's the net result. Remember, when you take the running game away and they become predictable, your defense can react to that. You know what they're going to do, and Philadelphia is finding it out.
Stars in their own territory. 3rd down, 21 yards to go for Chuck Fusina. He's got 2 backs behind him. He's got 3 wide receivers, and he's straight back to pass. Looking to his right side, Riley in the flat, but he's going to go deep, intended for Collier. Almost intercepted by Dr. Doom, John Bearfield.
Take a look at Bearfield. He does exactly as a linebacker should do. You drop back to about 12 yards. If nothing happens in front of you, it's all going on behind you. So he keeps going. Look at him drop back. Get some depth, John. Get some depth. He's in perfect position. All that tape on his fingers, and he drops the ball. Don't tape your fingers, John. It's not a good idea.
On Bearfield, as we watch the punt right here from Sean Landetta, way down in San Antonio territory. It is going to stop inside the 5-yard line as Herbert Harris is down there to watch it roll. The Philadelphia Stars don the ball right there. Gunslingers are going to have to start with 95+ yards to go. We're still scoreless early in the second quarter in San Antonio. Dropped in to swell the Gunslinger crowd here this afternoon. And the Gunslingers have got, folks, a long, and I mean long ways to go. The give into the backfield there is Al Penwhite, a couple of yards. They just don't want to give up the football this deep in their own territory. They'll be conservative, at least for the first couple of plays.
Gunslingers don't have a great record. They're 2-6. There's a score for you. New Orleans leading Denver 7-3 in the first quarter. 39-yard field goal by Spielman. They haven't scored a lot of points, but they have a good combination. They have a very conservative offense. They've only lost 1 fumble. That's the most in any game. 1 fumble and a good defense and a good nucleus to build a club on.
Rick Neuheisel 3 for 7, 48 yards in the afternoon. 2nd down and 7 situation inside his own 10-yard line. Don't think he'll put it up here, but maybe he'll surprise us. You do want to be conservative, and he is putting it up. He's going over the middle into traffic. That was intended for number 88. And that, of course, is Danny Buggs, the veteran wide receiver with NFL experience. Antonio Gibson, the good young strong safety out of Cincinnati on the defense.
Well, it's a good idea. Good idea because you think you're going to catch him by surprise, but this is double coverage. And Danny's either got to cut it off a little shorter or Rick's got to not throw it. It should have been an interception.
I am not always a fan, as we look at Antonio Gibson, of conservative football. But if you're going to throw passes into traffic inside your own 10-yard line, cause yourself quite a few headaches in a football game. All right, we have a 3rd and 7 situation now for the San Antonio Gunslingers as Neuheisel is shouting out some instructions to his wideouts. That's Stamper, the only back behind him. 3rd and 7 for the Slingers. Neuheisel back to pass, looking over to the right side, throwing for Don Roberts, who is the slot back. He lined up in the slot, incomplete, and Ken Hartley's going to have to punt from deep in his own territory. You'll want to get good protection and not allow a block punt right here, folks.
2 interesting things on that play. One was that they threw again, and they just didn't take the dive into the line. The other was that Philadelphia was blitzing on that play, anticipating a pass.
We're having the battle of the punts so far. Ken Hartley standing about 2 yards behind. Front of the end line right there. It is right behind him. He does not want to step back too far. You don't want to get a high snap. Good snap. Hartley steps up, gets the kickoff. Garcia Lane backing up into his own territory, takes it right at the 49, and within seconds, as a penalty flag has gone down, Raymond Waddy, number 47, just buried Garcia Lane. The Philadelphia Stars are going to have to start just inside midfield. We still don't have any points on the board, 0-0, with 8:40 to go in the second quarter.
Let's take a look at this. Garcia Lane waiting for the punt. Raymond Waddy taking a beat on him right now. And I got to hand it to Garcia. He's got a lot of guts. Waddy with the head right in the chest, and they're going to call a penalty on this illegal push from behind on the Philadelphia player. So they get another 15 yards, and that's a net 53 yards on that play. You wonder about the importance of the kicking game. Their offense stalled. They picked up 53 yards on the punt.
All right, the Philadelphia Stars trying to win their 6th game in a row will begin operations on this offensive series from their own 39-yard line. The penalties we saw in the replay of Garcia Lane getting buried by Mr. Waddy was called against Jonathan Sutton, an illegal block above the waist from behind. The penalties have gotten much too complicated. I just think he can't do that penalty.
He did 3 things at once.
All right, Chuck Fusita calling signals now for the Philadelphia Stars. He has, once again, 2 backs behind him, 2 wide receivers. The give is to Alan Harvin, jammed up in his own backfield, breaks it on his own individual effort out over the 40, picks up a couple of 2 yards, had a run for about 7 seconds to get 2 yards. Rich D'Amico, one of the people tying him up for the Gunslingers.
Have to be impressed with San Antonio's defense. This, again, is a counter, trying to get people to go the wrong way. Look, as they counter back. An inside handoff. San Antonio holds their position, folks. That's coaching. You do what you're supposed to do in your own area. You sit there and wait for the man to come to you. And look at all the blue shirts. A little late there, maybe, by a gunslinger, but no call.
2nd down and 8 for the Philadelphia Stars. Alan Harvin has 11 carries, 24 yards. He's been the only ball carrier so far this afternoon for the Stars. That's Fitzke in motion to the top of your screen. The give is again to Harvin, the only runner they've used out of the backfield, and Alan Harvin breaks it out into 1st down territory. Good run by number 22, Alan Harvin, as John Bearfield, Peter Rayford finally forced him out, but not until he got in the 1st down just over midfield into Gunslingers territory.
Problem that San Antonio has had defensively has been the corners. The teams have been able to run at the corners. It hasn't happened until that play today from Philadelphia, but they've had a history of weakness there, and maybe Philadelphia has decided that they're going to start running at the corners.
All right, Steve Folsom, your tight end, moves over to the right side. Chuck Fusina with the back split behind him. 1st and 10, Fitzke coming in motion. Stars operating in Slingers territory. The give again is to Harvin. The move is again to the right side. The pickup again is a good one.
They cleared it out over there, as we said. Maybe they've decided that the films don't lie, and they're going to go to the corners. Let's take a look at it. They're going to hand it to Harvin, and they're trying to run outside, but Harvin makes a good play here for the back. See, he's supposed to read it. Got a blocker in front of him. He reads the block outside, so he goes inside, picks up a little bit of yardage there, and the San Antonio defense doesn't get there on the pursuit. They have been getting there all day, not on that play.
All right, one of the Gunslingers is down. A Kentucky Derby trial from Louisville, Kentucky. All that on Wide World of Sport coming up next Saturday at 5. All right, the Philadelphia Stars operating once again. Right now they are on the 43-yard line. Chuck Fusina back to pass, looking to his left. Now he's flushed out. He's under a heavy rush, and he's going to go down by number 78, Mike St. Clair, taking him all the way back, close to his own 40-yard line, although they're going to mark it up around the 43. Great rush right there from Mike St. Clair.
St. Clair does a terrific job, but Fusina is looking for Fitzke on the left sideline. Ulmer is right on him like a cat, playing great man-to-man defense. The secondary gives him time, and here comes the defensive line. We'll see it again. They've been running successfully. They go with play action, but San Antonio's not biting. Can't find anybody. This is the result. Good coverage in that secondary. And they say that San Antonio secondary could play man-to-man with anybody. On that play, they did.
All right, we're looking at a 3rd down and 18 situation for the Philadelphia Stars. Chuck Fusina once again in an obvious passing situation. Collier, Fitzke, Donovan, all in the football game at this point. Fusina straight back to pass. He's under pressure again. He steps up, throws over the middle. He has Tommy Donovan for 1st down yardage. And once again, Chuck Fusina shows his versatility, his ability to step up and look the receiving core over and find somebody who is open.
Well, you said exactly the right thing, Don. Fusina makes this play. He drops back, he gets pressure, but watch these two guys. As Fusina steps up, they slow down, and he goes to the deep man there who's free, the white guy. But Fusina made the play. Fusina got pressure, and he got away, and those are the things that don't show up in statistics that he can do. When the offense isn't going well, he makes it happen.
All right, the Philadelphia Stars have gotten a 1st down. They're in Gunslinger territory, operating at 38. Single back, Alan Harvin up the middle, close to the 35. Pickup of 2.5 yards. It'll be 2nd down, 7.5 to go. Let's go to Jim Lampley at ABC Studios in New York City.
Don, Mike Rozier has been knocked out of the Generals Maulers game with a concussion. In his place now is Amos Lawrence, the troubled North Carolina star whose career in the NFL was brief. But Lawrence, after a fumbled kickoff by the Generals, just got that touchdown on a 4-yard run, and Pittsburgh surprisingly leads the Generals 10-0 in a driving rainstorm. Back to Don Tollefson.
Timeout with 5:22 to go in the half. Operating deep in the territory of the San Antonio Gunslingers as we look at the Gunslingers Texas Rose Cheerleaders. A long line job, we mentioned earlier, 23-5 in his 2 seasons with the Philadelphia Stars. He came to the Stars after being the defensive coordinator of the New England Patriots. All right, 2nd down on a long 7. Operating just outside the 35-yard line. Chuck Fusina at the controls for the Stars. Fusina with a short drop, gets it to his tight end, Steve Folsom. He's going to be down near the 30-yard line, short of the 1st down, as Maurice Tyler tied him up very quickly.
Recent downs, Philadelphia has established that corner running game a little bit, and it's opened up the defense of San Antonio some. They're able to do more things on that 1st and 2nd down situation. They don't know if they're going to run or pass, and that's what you want to do. You want to hesitate, get the defense to hesitate a little bit, think about what you're doing, and that's exactly what they're doing now, Philadelphia, and they're moving the ball down pretty close to the goal line.
It'll be a 3rd and 2, as we saw in that graphic a moment ago on play selection, a balance of passing and running for both the Philadelphia Stars and the San Antonio Gunslingers. It is a 3rd and 2, an interesting call coming up for Chuck Fusina. He's 8-12, 88 yards on the day. He's got Harvin and Riley behind him in the backfield. Fake is to Riley, and over the right side there, he got Steve Folsom wide open inside the 20, inside the 15. It'll be 1st down and 10 to go as Putt Choate finally makes the stop. Philadelphia Stars will be operating very close to the end zone as they will have 1st and 10 at the 15.
Number 95, Frank Case, at the end there is coming in. Just as he throws the ball, he turns around and trails the play. See number 95 there? That's a defensive end on pass coverage. He almost gets in on the tackle. Again, the vulnerability of the 4-4 defense is if you can get that guy quick outside on a pass pattern, and Philadelphia knows it, you're going to pick up some yardage.
Easter Sunday bonnet from one of the young fans here in San Antonio as the Stars look for a touchdown deep in San Antonio territory. Once again, we are scoreless late in the first half. Fusina going for 6. He's got Fitzke, and he stayed inbounds. It's a touchdown. Number 81, Scott Fitzke out of Penn State, from his former Penn State teammate Chuck Fusina, and the Stars are on the board as he beat Mike Ulmer and Peter Rayford for the touchdown.
It's a great pattern by Fitzke. Broke it off perfectly. Fusina, all he did was throw it exactly where he needed to. Fitzke is a quality receiver for Philadelphia. He's got 17 catches for 306 yards coming in and an average of 18 yards a catch. Far and away the best on the team.
David Trout attempt the extra point out of the hole to Tim Reardon. On the one field goal attempt earlier, there was a little bit of a bobble. This time down cleanly, up cleanly, it's good. So the Philadelphia Stars have taken a lead 7-0 over the San Antonio Gunslingers. We have 3 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the first half here at Alamo Stadium. Let's take one more look at that touchdown pass. Chuck Fusina to Scott Fitzke.
This is the way it works in practice. It's almost a timing pattern. Fitzke is on the right of your screen. He's making the break right now. Fusina's going to throw it to a spot in the end zone. Fitzke's already made his cut. He's wide open against double coverage there. 2 feet in, touchdown, and it's 7-0.
Scott Fitzke during his career. Number 21, Marcus Bonner, and number 23, Michael Ulmer. I won't say it again. I know they're going to try an onside kick before the day is over, but if I keep saying it, it'll never happen.
Well,
but sooner or later, they'll do one. That's Ulmer. He's going to come back the right side, tries to get some blocks, tried to get some help, but there's nobody there. And he's going to be tied up very quickly, right at about the 10 or 11-yard line. So that return is not very long, and it's going to be a very, very long ways to go once again for the Gunslingers. Mike Berry's along the sidelines with one of the Philadelphia Stars heroes. Mike?
We're down here with Scott Fitzke, the man that caught the touchdown pass. Were you having a little trouble there? It took you a while to get on the board. Were you having trouble with their defense and how you're going to block them?
Well, not a whole lot. You know, we're not executing real well yet. I think we should have a couple scores, and we don't. You know, we're not quite running the ball like we should. But I think, you know, we get one touchdown, we're going to start to get things rolling.
All right, Scott, back upstairs.
Thanks, Mike Berry. So the Gunslingers are starting right around the 12-yard line. Rick Neuheisel at the controls. They have a long way to go if they're going to get any points. He's going to pass on first down. It's going to be a little swing to Al Penwhite. Out to the 15, up close to the 20, and he is just buried coming up to make the stop on that play. Number 94, Dave Ofer, and number 54, Sam Mills, both involved there with the good pursuit, but Al Penwhite on the little swing pass out of the backfield does a good job.
Great time to throw this pass. The defense is pumped up. They just scored. They want to come hard, so you go with a little screen pass is what that is. It's a swing screen, and Penwhite does a nice job running, picking up some extra yardage. Emotionally, Philadelphia was a good prey on that play.
All right, Neuheisel's going to pass on 2nd and 3. He's got some good protection, and he gets the ball to number 30, Scott Stamper. Again, he goes to a running back, and he has first down yardage out near the 29-yard line. So on 2 successive plays, Rick Neuheisel gets the ball to one of his running backs, Antonio Gibson and Sam Mills on the coverage.
What Neuheisel does here is he checks off, which is good. He didn't do it early in the game. He's looking around there. He finds a receiver, and that's tough for a rookie to do. Did you see his eyes as he was looking around? Here, we'll take another look at Neuheisel as he goes back. And he's looking, yeah, he finds Stamper across the middle as a third receiver.
Okay, we're back taking a look at Jerry Gordon there, number 22. Jerry Gordon on a reception as Rick Neuheisel has completed his 3rd successive pass. Garcia Lane made the stop, but it's another big pickup. It's going to be a 9-yard pickup, bringing up a 2nd and 1. We are at the 2-minute warning in the first half here at Alamo Stadium. Once again, our score, the Philadelphia Stars 7, the Gunslingers nothing. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
People think I always take the train because I'm afraid of flying. Me, afraid? Nah. I take the train because it's the best way to enjoy light beer from Miller. Rolling through the Rockies and all across the Midwest, that's filling. And it tastes great coast to coast. That's why I take the train, not because I'm scared of anything. Hey, what happened to the light?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Maybe I am a little afraid of the dark.
The Shell Oil Company announces its new gold standard in gasoline. New SU-2000 Super Unleaded Gasoline. So unique, it's patented. SU-2000 is designed to reduce critical intake deposits that may be causing engine knock. It helps keep your engine clean mile after mile. New SU-2000, a gasoline designed for the way you drive today and tomorrow. High-octane SU-2000. Shell's new gold standard in gasoline.
1984 is an Olympic year, not only for able-bodied athletes, but for disabled athletes as well. This is the first time the International Games for the Disabled will be held in the United States. They'll feature world-class competitors in more than 20 Olympic-style events. I support these brave athletes, but they need your support as well. To find out how you can help, write to International Games for the Disabled, Eisenhower Park, East Meadow, New York, 11554.
As we look at Jim Moore, let me inform you that the preceding message was brought to you by the United States Football League. Nice situation if you're an offensive coordinator. 2nd down and 1 for the Gunslingers, operating at their own 38-yard line. Once again, Penwhite and Stamper are the backs behind Neuheisel. Neuheisel on the give to Stamper. He's got the first down out over the 40. So the Gunslingers have something going here with 1 minute, 54 seconds to go in the first half. They're trailing 7-0.
San Antonio's had no trouble moving the ball. There's Gil Stanky, and I guess he may be the oldest, but he's doing a pretty good job with the San Antonio team. Since he's taken over the offense, they move the ball a little better.
Hurry up offense here as we're running down the clock in the first half. Neuheisel back to pass, deep drop. He's looking to the left side, really threw it behind one of the receivers and too far in front of another. There were 2 guys over there. Neither of them had a chance to get that ball. There is a penalty flag. Rick Neuheisel picking himself up off the turf. And the preliminary indication is that we have a hold against the Gunslingers. So just when they started getting something going and getting a little momentum, they're going to be backed up deep in their own territory once again.
Well, not only did they hold, but they held against a 3-man front. Philadelphia had 7 men back and great coverage on the San Antonio offensive receivers, but they only rushed 3 men, and still the Gunslingers were holding.
Offense, number 70, first down.
That takes the Gunslingers back to their 32-yard line as we get the official call there from Percy Penn. Jim Lohman out of Texas El Paso, 6'5", 265 was the guilty party. As Rick Neuheisel is 6 for 13, 74 yards in the afternoon. Straight drop once again, deep drop, looking down the right sidelines. It's up in the air, and he was looking for Danny Buggs, and 2 Philadelphia Stars right there with the coverage. That's going to bring up 3rd in a very long situation for the Gunslingers.
One of the raps here on Neuheisel is that he holds the ball a little long. See how it's behind there? That's pretty good coverage, but if he had thrown it to the sideline, Buggs could have stretched out instead of coming the other way. That was Sutton and Gibson on the coverage, but that ball could have been a little further to the sideline, and Danny might have had a chance to catch it.
One mark of a good defense, both the Doghouse D and the Bounty Hunters here today, is whether or not you catch the ball, they're going to get a lick in. They're going to make you feel their presence. They're both very physical defenses. Big 3rd down play coming up for the San Antonio Gunslingers as they have to go quite a ways here. Rick Neuheisel is at the controls. He's back to pass. And he is going to be sacked. He is going to be sacked by Don Fielder. So Donahue gets a push from one of the offensive linemen in frustration, takes Neuheisel way back into his own territory. With the penalty, that was a 2nd down play. Let me correct myself. So now it'll be 3rd and very, very long.
Uncomfortable position for the Gunslingers. They don't like 2nd and long. They're a running team, don't like to have to throw the ball. I think it's evident. They tried to release 2 backs, and instead the Philadelphia defense went right by him for the sack.
2 sacks today for the Philadelphia Stars. They have just called timeout. 2 sacks for the San Antonio Gunslingers. When action does resume, it'll be a 3rd and 28. So on this drive, the Gunslingers started out way back in their own territory. Got a States Football League, Joe Cribbs, their great running back, formerly of the Buffalo Bills. Our Jim Lampley will have a special feature on the great Joe Cribbs coming up during our halftime activities. Once again, that's 1 minute and 33 away. Right now, Rick Neuheisel has a 3rd and 28 to go. And the Philadelphia Stars would just love to pick something off at this point in the first half. Neuheisel rolling to his right. He's going to dump it off to Stamper. Stamper's going to be up over the 25, up to about the 28-yard line. Far short of the first down. Scotty Warner, number 25, and number 56, George Cooper, coming up to make the stop.
Well, this is that same play we talked about earlier. Stamper is the single setback. He's been wide open, but again, it's too predictable. See him leave your picture? Neuheisel, that was the intended receiver. Neuheisel never looked at anybody else, and because he didn't look at anybody else, neither did Philadelphia, so they stopped him short. That'd be a good play on a first down or a second down with short yardage.
All right, so once again, the Gunslingers will be forced to punt. Elsewhere in the United States Football League today, Tim Mazzetti has kicked a 29-yard field goal for the New Orleans Breakers. The Breakers now lead the Denver Gold by a score of 10-3. That game also in the second quarter. Philadelphia Stars have taken another timeout. Ken Hartley is your punter. Garcia Lane is standing back about his 25-yard line to wait for the punt. Hartley gets it off. Garcia's going to move up. Now watch it bounce. It bounces over the 30. Now he's going to come up and get it. And he paid for it once again. He's going to be down right there at the 30, making the tackle number 23, Mike Ulmer, who's had some good special plays today. Let's join Mike Berry along the San Antonio sidelines.
I'm down here with the quarterback, Rick Neuheisel, the rookie from UCLA. These guys are giving you a little trouble. You haven't been able to put any points on the board yet today, Rick.
Well, yeah, they're a great defensive team. It's just one of those things where we're going to have to be patient and hopefully wait to make our own breaks. They're, like we say, they're 7-1. There's a reason for that. So we're just going to be patient and keep trying to plug away.
You're only down by a touchdown. Now, when you go into the locker room at halftime, what are you going to have to do? What adjustments will you have to make when you come back in the second half?
Well, I think we're going to have to open up a little bit more. They're pretty much stuffing our running game right now, and I think we're going to have to pass the ball, but we're going to have to do it in a controlled fashion so we don't give up the big sacks.
Back upstairs.
Thanks, Mike. That's Rick Neuheisel, quarterback on the bench. This is Chuck Fusina, quarterback on the field. He begins operations at his own 30. Straight back to pass. Going to dump it off to David Riley coming out of the backfield. Good second effort. David Riley up over the 40 for a Philadelphia Stars first down as he broke out of the tackle of Mike Ulmer and got that extra yardage.
Okay, Riley split out in the split back formation. He's going to circle right out of the backfield and try to get open. Fusina looking right at him, makes the completion for a first down. And they don't use a huddle here. They come right back, and that's the timeout, what they did in the timeout.
Fusina looking for Riley again. The ball hit the ground before it hit his hands. You always try to screen the official, but the official saw it go down on the turf. So it'll be a second down and 10. The clock stopped with 58 seconds to go in the first half.
They probably called a couple of plays on the sideline during the timeout, and they decided that maybe they want to go to Riley and isolate him on a linebacker. They're going to have to go upfield against this defense. Fusina not known for the long pass, but if they're going to get in 58 seconds, they have to go upfield.
There's a look at David Riley's statistics so far in 1984. 8 receptions, 154 yards. Herbert Harris is in the game. He split far to the right. Willie Collier's in the slot over there. Tommy Donovan is to the right side, right in front of our press box vantage point. Chuck Fusina back to pass. He's looking again for David Riley out of the backfield, and again, a good second effort, a first down, and then some. So into San Antonio territory goes David Riley. Putt Choate coming up to make the stop.
It's man-to-man coverage there. Putt Choate, obviously they've seen something in San Antonio. They isolate Riley on Choate man-to-man. He can't handle it. Riley almost turned that upfield for a touchdown.
Right, the Stars are operating at the 36-yard line of San Antonio. Fusina scrambling to his left. He's going to be over the 35, down to around the 32. Tiptoes out of bounds, stops the clock with 38 seconds to go. Philadelphia is 32 yards away from paydirt. In addition to our feature mentioned a moment ago on the great Joe Cribbs of the Birmingham Stallions, we'll have scores and highlights of other United States Football League action around the country, as this is one of 4 games being played on a beautiful Sunday afternoon.
Chuck Fusina, not one of those quarterbacks that can sit back at his own 30 and reach the other end zone, but he's in range now, and that's got to be something the Gunslingers are thinking about on defense. He can throw the ball 35 yards accurately into the end zone.
Fusina has Donovan and Fitzke both to the left side with Fitzke in the slot. Fusina calling the signals, back to pass. He's looking over the middle for Willie Collier. He has him close to the 25. He's knocked back by number 42, Maurice Tyler. And the Philadelphia Stars are going to use a timeout right here. They're moving the chains. They have stopped the clock for that reason with 32 seconds to go. The hurry-up offense instead, and here comes Chuck Fusina right back to the line as we wind down under 30 seconds in the first half. Fusina going deep for Tommy Donovan. And he has him in the end zone. 6 more points, Philadelphia Stars. A great, great pattern. Raymond Waddy was the defender. Tommy Donovan got a step on him. Good throw, good catch. 25 yards and a Philadelphia Stars touchdown.
San Antonio coming with a full blitz. The Gunslingers, look at them as they come with about 7 people. Fusina gets plenty of protection. It's man-to-man coverage, and Donovan slows down just a little bit and gets Waddy off his back and then jumps out, gets a little bit of room and makes the catch. A great catch by Donovan and pretty good coverage by Waddy.
There's David Trout to try to make the margin 14-0. And I would have to think that is a devastating score for the San Antonio Gunslingers to give up, because they had been so good on defense for so much of the first half. Now they're going to fall down, if this conversion is good, and it is, by 14 points with only 20 seconds to go in our first half at Alamo Stadium. Chuck Fusina.
It's Donovan, not Fitzgerald. I think I said Fitzgerald. I think you can trace the success of the offense for Philadelphia in the second quarter back to the couple of 3 plays where they began running at the corner, and they established that running game, got the linebackers up a little close, changed that San Antonio philosophy a little bit, and then they began throwing the ball successfully.
You saw in front of David Trout, number 34, Jeff Rodenberger. He is a guy on special teams who gets down there and punishes people. This is going to be Ulmer taking it just inside his own 15. He's out over the 25, up to about the 27-yard line, and that is where the San Antonio Gunslingers are going to operate. As guess who made the stop? I haven't gotten my onsides kick yet, but I got Jeff Rodenberger as the guy who might go down and make the hit. That's exactly who did it. So the Gunslingers have only 15 seconds to work with, and they are at this point at their own 29-yard line. That's 71 yards from touchdown territory. Mike Berry's along the sidelines. Let's join him right now.
All right, I'm down here with Tom Donovan, the second touchdown of the day now for the Philadelphia Stars. You got off to a slow start, but you got some breathing room, Tom, going in.
Yeah, we got off to a sluggish start, but, you know, it's a team that will just keep coming at you. The weather is a factor today. It's hot. A lot of people are a little bit tired, but the character of this team, we're not going to quit. We'll just keep coming at you.
What do we look for in the second half?
Well, we just continue to do the same things. Control the ball and tenacious defense, which we're doing right now. And I don't think we'll let up at all.
All right, Tommy, thank you.
Neuheisel had the play action. He gets the pass off to the right side to Al Penwhite. Al's up over the 40-yard line. There's a penalty flag. We're right going to be seeing a late hit call here, and that would move the Gunslingers even farther down the field. There is another flag way back at the 30-yard line, which may be an offensive line call, so we might have offsetting penalties. The officials in discussion right now. Most importantly, we have but 10 seconds to go in the first half, so if the Gunslingers are going to do anything, they'll have to do it in 1 or at most 2 plays.
That's a good call, I think, by San Antonio. Neuheisel with 15 seconds to go. He went with that play action. I think Philadelphia was anticipating they might run out the clock, and he hit Penwhite very quickly and gave him the ball at a point where he could run up the field with it.
As the officials discuss what went on, here is part of what went on. That is George Jameson, number 58. He forces Penwhite out of bounds, and the official is probably going to say in his judgment that it's a late hit. But that's a very tough call because the runner has momentum, the linebacker has momentum, and they both meet.
I got to say,
I've got illegal formers and offense, which is a simple foul. I've got a personal foul, defense, which is a penalty.
I think I understand. I'm trying real hard. But once again, it's the terminology issue again coming up in football officiating today. A simple foul against a penalty, and the bottom line is they're going deep in Stars territory. Let's listen to Percy Penn once again right here.
All right, let's take a look at this thing again. They're calling this a personal foul. Boy, I don't know. I mean, he pushed him a little hard. It's up to Penwhite to either go down or stop running or whatever. I know linebackers would have chased him right into the stands, and sometimes they call it, sometimes they don't.
Okay, Percy Penn did not reiterate the call. Instead, he opened his microphone to tell us the San Antonio Gunslingers have called a touch something. And in the last game he played, the Jacksonville Bulls game that the Gunslingers won 20-0, he had field goals from both 48 and 45 yards, so he can get his foot into it still. All right, Neuheisel operating from the 39-yard line. 10 seconds to go in your first half. He shifts his backs, maybe changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Blitz is coming from the Philadelphia Stars. Under pressure, he gets the ball to Stamper. Stamper's going nowhere. The clock is going everywhere, and we're down to 4 seconds as the officials have stopped play temporarily. Sam Mills, the field mouse, coming up to make the stop.
Neuheisel's only 6 feet tall. Blitz automatically makes it man coverage. He's got to get rid of the ball. They know he has to make a move quick so everybody can play tight. And now look, see the defense get in front of him. He's having a little trouble, throws the ball a little bit short to Stamper. Stamper has to turn around. By the time he does that tight man-to-man, that's the field mouse. Yeah, the field mouse got him on that play. Down he goes for a loss.
The flag.
Well, this will be fun for Neuheisel. In this conservative offense, he doesn't get to throw it very far often.
I think we're going to find out how far he can throw it here. It'll be about a 55-yarder if he can reach the end zone, and I would say that's what they should do, yeah.
Neuheisel doesn't look too excited by coming up to the line of scrimmage right here. I don't know whether it's because he doesn't want to throw this pass, but he is going to get up there. As I mentioned, he's got 3 wideouts. It's going to be your basic long, just throw it up for grabs type situation. 3 gunslinger wide receivers to the top of your screen. Neuheisel straight back. He'll need protection. Now he's having a breakdown. He's going down in the grasp of a man who has been in his face all day, number 96, Don Fielder, with the last play of the first half. So we're going to take a look at one more sack, this time from Don Fielder.
Well, Neuheisel, he drops straight back here. He gets immediate pressure. Look at Fielder as he pushes the offensive blocker right back into Neuheisel. And then poor Rick doesn't weigh enough as he gets a hold of his shirt. If he weighed about 15 pounds more, he might have been able to break free. But let's face it, the play wasn't a high percentage one anyway.
All right, our halftime score from Alamo Stadium, San Antonio, Texas. The Philadelphia Stars 14.
It's been the longest of seasons for Joe Cribbs, but the transition from a full autumn with the Bills to a full spring with the Stallions couldn't prevent Little Joe from leading the USFL in rushing coming into this weekend. Statistics simply reaffirm what Cribbs had already proven in 4 NFL years with Buffalo, that he is as productive a runner and receiver as any back in football, the kind of player whose decision to leave the Bills for the Stallions greatly enhanced the USFL's prestige and credibility. Much has been made in some quarters of the notion that Cribbs came to Birmingham to return to the environment of his college glory days at Auburn, to be near his home of Sulligent, Alabama. But Joe told me this past Friday, that's not the story at all.
That really did not influence my decision. In fact, I had decided that Birmingham was going to be my home long before we even started negotiating with the Stallions. I had decided that I wanted to live here. And that was not because of the Birmingham Stallion. That was because of the city of Birmingham, which my days at Auburn, I was very happy here. And I know a lot of people here, and affiliations and things that I've made here made this the ideal city for me to live in.
Coming directly to this league from the NFL Pro Bowl, did you find it hard to motivate yourself to get up to play as hard in this league as you did in the NFL?
I think that on most teams, the starting units are pretty equal to the NFL. I think the overall depth of each team is somewhat less than in the NFL. I think a lot of teams would run into problems when they bring in their second units and third units, whereas in the NFL, they would still be pretty strong. My situation is magnified because I left the NFL and I was a successful player in the NFL. Why would I jump? There's a lot of reasons, and I feel like that now that I'm here, probably even more than when I was with Buffalo, I'm getting more attention here, and I like to be under the eye. I like to be the focal point. I like for people to watch me and want to know what I'm doing.
One thing you may have given up is a sort of emotional reward. With your start in the NFL, had you continued that for 9, 10 years, you might have wound up being considered one of the greatest running backs of all time, perhaps even a spot in the Hall of Fame. Do you worry about having given that up?
I couldn't just stay in the NFL for the idea of trying to chase Jim Brown and O.J. Simpson and Franco Harris when I wasn't being treated fairly, and I was definitely being undercompensated at Buffalo.
If you wind up leading the league in rushing, as you're doing now, you'll finish ahead of at least 2 men who've won the Heisman Trophy and some other backs whose names might be as well known to the general public as your own. Is there incentive in that for you?
Well, I just want to go out and play the best I can play. Right now, personal goals, that's a part of my game because I'm fairly highly competitive, and I do set a lot of personal goals. But I think from a team standpoint, I want to wear a crown. I want to be a champion, and I've enjoyed a lot of personal success in football from my high school days right on up until my professional level now, and I've never been on a championship team, and that's something that I want to accomplish before my career is over.
Play at ABC Sports Control in New York. We welcome those of you who are watching San Antonio and Philadelphia, and right now we'll bring you up to date on what's happening elsewhere in the United States Football League. In the Superdome, the New Orleans Breakers are leading the Denver Gold in a battle between two of the league's better teams. Early in the ball game, New Orleans got on the board first on a running play. Buford Jordan going in from 9 yards out with 66 yards rushing in the first half. Jordan has been the key performer in the ball game, and that capped a 68-yard drive to open the game. Later, Spielman got a field goal for Denver. Mazzetti got one for New Orleans. New Orleans missed a field goal, or had one blocked, I should say, on the final play of the half, and it is 10-3 New Orleans at the half. New Jersey, surprisingly, trails Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh 10-0. In that ball game, Mike Rozier of Pittsburgh was lost early to the Maulers with a mild concussion. You're going to see the play on which Rozier was lost. An incomplete pass and then a hit from general safety John Preston. That gave Rozier the mild concussion, which will keep him out at least for the rest of today's action. And with Rozier on the sidelines, the running back for Pittsburgh becomes Amos Lawrence, formerly of North Carolina. Famous Amos getting a second chance at football in the USFL after his brief NFL career. Went in from 4 yards out with the game's only touchdown. It is 10-0 Pittsburgh. Remember, neither Brian Sipe, the Generals' quarterback, nor Walt Michaels, their coach, has ever won a game in Pittsburgh in their present role. In about 10 minutes, Washington at 0-8 will be kicking off against Oakland at 0-8. And the bad news for the winner of that game is that it will get today's opponent only once this year. Less than 2 weeks to go before the Kentucky Derby.
But the Gunslingers making his first appearance of the afternoon. He'll be kicking off deep for the Philadelphia Stars, Mark McCants, Tom Donovan, and Herbert Harris. It's coming down to McCants. He takes him to the 7-yard line, back over the 15, over the 20. He's got a hole. He's got a wide open field. If he can get that one block, he cuts back at midfield, down close to the 40-yard line of the San Antonio Gunslingers. Temple University's Mark McCants almost broke it all the way, as it was one heck of a big return. Peter Rayford saving the day for the Gunslingers.
Great kick returner. All he needs is a little bit of a hole. Hey, you have to be one of those guys, you know, one of those crazy guys to do this anyway, but he gets a hole right there as the alley forms. Now watch Mickemeyer, number 5. He does all he can do. That's a great play. Not a form tackle, but a great play by Mickemeyer, and stops Philadelphia from getting a touchdown.
Officially goes for 51 yards. Chuck Fusina will begin operations at the 44 of the Slingers. Alan Harbin on the counter gets about a yard, and that's it. Tommy Tabor ties him up. In that first half, when the Stars scored 14 points, here are the numbers. In the first down department, 10 of those 13 came in the second quarter for the Philadelphia Stars. The big stat, 156 passing yards, as Chuck Fusina really unleashed his good arm in that second quarter. Time of possession as well shows that those were sustained drives by the Philadelphia Stars, as they had the ball for 6+ minutes more than the San Antonio Gunslingers. Second down and 9 yards to go, operating from the San Antonio 43. Play action pass, Chuck Fusina looking for his tight end, Steve Folsom. He's got a step on John Bearfield. Saving tackle, though, brings him down inside the 25-yard line, and the Philadelphia Stars are on the roll once again.
That's the gunslinger position, Bearfield. Now, the one thing you don't want to do is let the tight end cross your face and get ahead of you if he's quick. He just did it at the right side of your screen. See, look at Bearfield chasing him. He's beating him to the inside. Fusina right on the money. Big gain.
Steve Folsom, a great story. Not only is he involved as a professional football player, but he is a physical conditioning advisor to the United States women's ski team. So he's an all-purpose guy who not only plays sports, but helps others who do it as well. Out of the University of Utah, tight end Steve Folsom. Chuck Fusina on first down. The pitch is to Alan Harbin. He's going to try to turn the corner. A lot of pursuit, a lot of blue shirts, and he's forced out of bounds. And they're having a meeting of the minds in front of one of our ABC television cameras, as that is Dr. Doom, John Bearfield, and Mr. Harbin saying we didn't mean it.
Dr. Doom a little upset after the last play when Folsom beat him, and he almost gets a penalty. Harbin here just doesn't have the speed of a Kelvin Bryant to get outside. San Antonio making a good rush on defense. So watch Bearfield as he grabs Harbin. He's thinking about it. Should I throw him into this truck or what? And he says, well, no, I got hold off, and it's a good thing he did.
Philadelphia Stars operating once again from the 22-yard line. No gain on that previous play. So it'll be a second down and 10 for Chuck Fusina. Gunslingers are showing a blitz. They may be coming with some people. Now the linebackers back off. No blitz. Play action fake to Harvin. You've seen it. Pumps once. Now looks to the left. Willie Collier, but he was out of bounds. No touchdown despite the reception. There was a little pump fake. He tried to beat Raymond Waddy, who was burned earlier on the Tom Donovan touchdown, but Willie Collier comes in out of bounds.
Okay, he did beat Waddy. The ball just a little bit overthrown. Collier needed to drag that left foot, couldn't do it, so we go back to the line of scrimmage.
Call it 3rd down and 10 for the Philadelphia Stars. They're at the 22-yard line of the San Antonio Gunslingers. They already lead this football game 14-0. The double wide receivers to the left. Harvin and Riley behind Chuck Buzina. The straight drop. Looking over the middle. Had it to Fitzke. Fitzke drops the pass he almost always holds on to. So it'll bring up a 4th down situation. A field goal attempt for David Trout.
It's a big play for San Antonio that Fitzke actually made the big play by dropping it. They have to reestablish themselves. Fitzke cutting it off short. Inside the coverage. That's a linebacker on him. Schote can't handle him. Fitzke can't handle the pass. They're really beating on these linebackers now on the short patterns. Mora there has seen a hole in the defense, and he's taken advantage of it.
And the gentleman we saw walking behind Coach Mora, assistant coach Joe Marciano, who does a great job with the special teams. One of his players, David Trout, attempting the field goal, and he has upped the Philadelphia Stars margin to 17-0 with a 39-yard field goal. And the Philadelphia Stars are back on the board. We have 12 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. From the Alamo Stadium in San Antonio, Stars 17, Slingers nothing. We're back in San Antonio where the Stars on a 39-yard David Trout field goal have upped the margin to 17-0. Now the ball has fallen off the tee. The young man right there, David Trout from the University of Pittsburgh, will re-tee it. Deep for the San Antonio Gunslingers, a pair of receivers, Marcus Bonner and Mike Ulmer, and those are the 2 up men in front of him standing up around the 15. David Trout gets the kick away, and going back into the end zone about 7 yards is Marcus Bonner, and staying in the end zone about 7 yards deep is Mr. Bonner, so they'll bring it out to the 20, where the Gunslingers will begin. 1st down and 10 with 12:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Lots of military people stationed in San Antonio, Texas, and on this Easter Sunday, when we give thanks for so many things in this great country of ours, it is nice to give thanks to the young men and young women who serve their country here and elsewhere around the world. There's Rick Neuheisel, and he knows, trailing 17-0 in the 3rd quarter of this football game, this is a very critical drive. They need to get some points on the board. They cannot afford to be stalled when you're down 17 already.
I think that field goal that Philadelphia got after that big kick return, almost a blessing for San Antonio. Since early in the 2nd quarter, they've been a little bit out of control of the game. Philadelphia has dominated. They need to assert their control again, and I think Neuheisel said it best in the interview in the 1st half. They have to have patience, but they also at the same time have to open this game up a little bit, and I think you'll see the Gunslingers do that.
All right, Neuheisel is your quarterback. The backs behind him are Stamper and Penwhite. 1st and 10 from the 20. Neuheisel back to pass, is under a heavy rush, gets it off to Penwhite. Penwhite over the 20, 25, up to around the 28-yard line. He's finally forced out of bounds by number 21, Bill Hardy. So a nice 1st down pass. Right now, let's join Mike Berry.
I'm down here on the sidelines, down with Irv Eatman, the fine offensive lineman for the Philadelphia Stars. When you're playing a defense like the Gunslingers, which is basically young, inexperienced, but a lot of emotion, is that tough for you?
They're doing a lot of things to try to confuse us, and sometimes they've been successful, but most of the time we've handled it pretty well, and we've been able to execute our game plan the way we wanted to so far.
Were you confused in the 1st half, though?
Well, a little bit, because they did some things that we weren't expecting them to do, but now we made some adjustments, and I think we're prepared to take it on in the 2nd half.
Back upstairs.
2nd and 1 from the 29. The give is to Stamper. Out over the 30, 35. He's trying to turn the corner on Hardy. Hardy stops him, though, at about the 36-yard line. Scott Stamper with the 1st down and then some as the Gunslingers get it out around 36-yard line, still in their own territory.
Stamper's just 5'9", one of a few short players in this game, but a very tough competitor and a strong runner. Look at that as he uses his legs to get through that leg kick. Just doesn't have the great speed that he might need to get outside and break that for a big one. Hardy, by the way, from Virginia Tech, has replaced Garcia Lane early in the 2nd half at corner.
All right, Rick Neuheisel operating 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. He's got double wide receivers to the left and another wide receiver going in motion. It's a deep pitch to Penwhite, going to the right side. He's back out to around the 37-yard line, a short gain. As Mike Lush came up, the free safety to help on the tackle. Mr. Penwhite right there gets his jersey over and under the shoulder pad.
Well, they tried to do what Philadelphia had been doing early in the game. They put the man in motion, tried to get a crackback and maybe break Penwhite outside, but Philadelphia read it. Lush came up and made the play. That's excellent defense.
Second down and 9 from the 37-yard line. Stamper and Penwhite, the backs behind Neuheisel. Straight drop, now he steps up. He's going to keep the ball, and he's going to be back out to around the 38. Only going to gain a yard is Don Fielder, number 96 out of Kentucky. Has been a pest all day long as far as Mr. Neuheisel is concerned.
Vince Tobin's the defensive coordinator. This is great coaching. Watch the middle of the Philadelphia defensive line. It's supposed to be a screen. Look at him stop and go. He gives Neuheisel a little bit of a read like he's going to go outside, comes back and makes the play. That's just great coaching and terrific defense as they read that screen and stopped it.
All right, Fielder forces a 3rd down and 8 situation. Neuheisel straight back to pass, got good protection, directed his receivers. He's going over the middle. It's going to be very interesting to see where they mark that ball, because he came back with the pass. Number 22, Jerry Gordon, was your receiver. He had to come back to get the ball, and they are going to mark it short of the 1st down, right around the 45-yard line. Bill Hardee was the man making the tackle. So right now, the fans here at Alamo Stadium are chanting, "Go, go, go." They think that this is a situation where the Slingers have got to keep the ball moving. They can't afford to punt it in the minds of the fans, and apparently Coach Gil Steinke agrees.
That's a good call, I think, but an excellent route by Gordon. Neuheisel looking around for a receiver, and Gordon did what he was supposed to do. He came back, he just came back a little too far. Good pass and a good catch by Gordon out of Grambling.
4th and 1, the ball is just over the 45. They have to get it just over the 46. Stamper and Penwhite are there, but Neuheisel keeps it himself. And again, it's going to be a judgment on the officials' parts wherever the placement is. Right now, let's join our Mike Berry along the sidelines once again.
Don, I'm down here with Garcia Lane, the fine defensive back for the Philadelphia Stars. He will not see any more action today. A couple of plays ago, he took a knee in his right thigh, and it's such a bad muscle spasm, they got it all iced up, and he's not going to be playing anymore today. Garcia Lane's out of action.
That not only affects the defensive scheme in terms of the secondary, but Garcia Lane, the fine young punt returner for the Stars as well. You saw the measurement. It is a 1st down in the judgment of the officials. As we look at Rick Neuheisel, 11 and 18, 1:04 on the afternoon. Neuheisel back to pass, got the screen set up. He's not going to get very far, though. It went out to number 21, Marcus Bonner. Philadelphia Stars read the screen, and had all sorts of people. You see the normal guys, Fielder and Mills, and the rest all involved.
Well, that's just terrific defense again by Philadelphia. George Cooper, the outside linebacker, will make the play. He gets blocked. But watch Cooper as he comes into your picture here. Now, this thing's set up pretty well. Cooper gets down, gets his hands down, and then gets back up and makes the first contact. Now, that's a terrific play by a linebacker to get knocked down and get up and still make the play.
2nd down still, 10 yards to go. They're at their own 47. Neuheisel to give us to Roberts. He's going to sweep the right side, gets it up to midfield. It's going to be stopped right around midfield, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation as Jonathan Sutton, the right cornerback, and Sam Mills, the field mouse, doing the job. Of course, Sam Mills, 1983 all USFL.
I don't know that I'd call Sam a field mouse to his face, that's for sure. San Antonio knows no matter what the score, they can't get away from that running game completely. They're almost forced to run at least once in a series of downs, and I think Philadelphia is aware of that, so it kind of inhibits San Antonio's ability to surprise the Philadelphia defense.
3rd and 7 from the 49. Rick Neuheisel at the controls. Big 3rd down play for the San Antonio Gunslingers. Neuheisel back to pass. He's got some time. He's looking over here for Roberts. He doesn't get the reception. Fans want a flag. George Cooper on the defense right there, but the doghouse defense trying to preserve this shutout with 8 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Comes up big again.
This is an incompletion thrown by Neuheisel, but it shows some advancement. The young short quarterback lost this ball, and it should have been caught over the defense. That's pretty good defensive coverage. Cooper underneath, over him, and the receiver Roberts just can't get a hold of it. But Neuheisel did the right thing and a nice pass.
Ken Hartley has averaged 36.2 yards in his 5 punts so far. He is standing at his own 34-yard line. Deep due to the injury to Garcia Lane, Scott Warner, number 25 for the Philadelphia Stars. He's standing at his own 10. Hartley taking plenty of time. And it's a fake. It's a fake. They went to the up man. The up man is cut short. He has the first down and a lot more down to the Philadephia 33-yard line. Cut short. They were taking a long time because they were going to snap it to the up man, and he went for the first down, and the Gunslingers will retain possession, and that is a momentum builder.
He did it a couple of times last year. He ran once this year for 25 yards. These guys are pointing because they want to get the right man. And Schode, I don't know what it is about him. They ought to move him to the offensive backfield. That's a pretty good run and some good blocking there. Schode picks up the first down. Now, they almost tip it as they were pointing there, but look at the man who pulls right there. Number 52, he gets out in front of it, and Schode is able to get behind him and pick up some good yardage.
Neuheisel operating from the Philadephia 33. He's back to pass. Stars are coming with a lot of linebackers on the blitz. Throws over the middle, intended for number 81. That is the tight end, Joey Hackett. And again, the boos rain down at Alamo Stadium as some of the Gunslingers faithful want a penalty flag, but none is forthcoming.
That was a play. This is a pass. Well, watch Mills. Sam Mills is in good position here. Now, this is an example of how come a 5'9" linebacker doesn't normally make it. Watch Neuheisel. See, oh boy, if Sam's just a little bit taller, he gets a hand on that, maybe intercepts it. Neuheisel threw into a lot of coverage there, and Sam in good position to make the deflection.
This is the 11th play in the current Gunslingers drive as they're trying to sustain something here. Rick Neuheisel, 12 for 21, 104 on the afternoon. Second down and 10 in Philadephia territory. Neuheisel almost trips, maintains his footing. He's going deep down here to number 87. And there's a penalty flag on the play as well. That's Earl Gabadon who makes the reception. He was going out of bounds as he made it. There's a flag. Neuheisel is down on the ground. We've got about 7 things going on all at once.
Every time Philadephia shows blitz on Neuheisel, he hesitates a bit on the line of scrimmage, probably calling an audible. And then he rolled away from his arm that time. He rolled to this side of the field and threw back. It was an excellent pass and a lot of athletic ability by Neuheisel. But, of course, the ball was juggled and went out of bounds. Watch Neuheisel here. He probably called an audible. He runs a little bit of a roll out here and pulls up. And this is not an easy thing to do, especially a guy who's only 6 feet tall. Look at this pass.
Pass interference.
Good coverage, and, boy, bang, right on the hand. Just bumped a little bit and out of bounds.
Third down.
Well, the fans have been screaming for an interference penalty all afternoon, and they finally got one. Of course, they didn't get it on the Philadephia Stars. Offensive interference ruled on Earl Gabadon right there, number 87. So they move the ball back to the Philadephia Stars 42-yard line, where it'll bring up a long yardage situation here for Rick Neuheisel, 3rd and 20 to be exact. Rick Neuheisel, straight back, good protection, lots of time, going over the middle, and he has Jerry Gordon down to the 10, inside the 10, the 5, inside the 5-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 3. So a big reception. Sam Mills comes up to make the stop eventually, but Rick Neuheisel to Jerry Gordon for 38 yards, and maybe some of the Gunslinger fans will take the bags off their heads because they can be proud of their offense on that play right there. This drive has been excellent.
Single back formation, number 30 runs out to the right. He's taking that safety and middle linebacker a little bit with him. Gordon's running a crossing pattern, and Neuheisel puts it right on the money. Just 5'10", 170 pounds. Jerry Gordon out of Grambling. That's a great move there, that spin move to stay in bounds. And now San Antonio trying to get back in the ball game.
First and goal, Gunslingers operating at the Philadephia Stars 3-yard line, and Rick Neuheisel wants an opportunity to talk things over with his head coach, Gil Steinke.
Linebackers moving so you can get free. Now, you've got a lead block here, not bad by Roberts, but they read it as Bunning, that old crafty veteran. He reads it right off tackle and comes up and fills it for no gain.
JB is still a player. The knees are not as strong as they once were, but the mind is sharper than ever. John Bunning can still get the job done. All right, we are at the 2-yard line. 2nd down and goal for the San Antonio Gunslingers, trailing 17-0. 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Neuheisel, a little confusion, goes to throw the pass intended for Stamper. Stamper was not expecting the pass at that point. A broken play. They're lucky there was not an interception or a big loss because Neuheisel almost went down in the grass.
This is play action. Doesn't work very well on the goal line. Linemen aren't even looking. They're just burying. He tries play action, runs into his own man. Great pressure by Philadephia. They got number 25 here, Warner, coming in on a blitz, and it's just a tremendous reaction by Neuheisel to avoid the loss and get the ball off.
Most of the afternoon, the 2 backs have been Stamper and Penwhite. On that play, they were Stamper and Roberts. The new combination had some problems. They ran into each other. That brings up a 3rd and goal still from the Philadephia 2-yard line. Neuheisel with the fake again. He's going to throw it out here for Gordon. Touchdown, San Antonio Gunslingers, but there is a penalty flag on the field. There's a penalty flag. Hold everything. It's in the end zone, and the officials are going to have a discussion right now. The fans are already celebrating. Neuheisel has gone over to join the discussion with the officials, and we're going to wait to see what happens.
Roberts is coming off clapping his hands. This is great athletic ability. Look at this. Look at the pressure. Warner again. Neuheisel rolling away, throws back. A strike to Gordon, who's covered pretty well. You can't do much better than that. Gibson had real good coverage on him. The ball was just in the numbers for a touchdown. Penalty on Philadelphia. We're going to see it again. This is going to stand up. Look at the pressure on Neuheisel. Doesn't break his concentration. You can't fault Gibson. He's got man-to-man, and it's just not that bad a coverage. And now it's a 6. Well, they've got 6. It's 17-6 now, and San Antonio back in this one.
The veteran Nick Mickemeyer, former Eagle, will try to make it 17-7. We have 6 minutes, 8 seconds exactly. Your holder, the quarterback, Rick Neuheisel. It's down, it's up, and it's perfect. So the score from Alamo Stadium, San Antonio, Texas, the Gunslingers have rallied to get right back in this ball game. Philadelphia 17. Kevin Kiley, Mike Berry back at Alamo Stadium. Nick Mickemeyer about to kick off. Came up in 1973 with the Atlanta Falcons that year, 26 for 38 in the field goal department. Eventually played for the Buffalo Bills, the Eagles, and now he is kicking off to the Philadelphia Stars. It's a short kick, going to be taken by tight end Steve Folsom inside his own 30, and he's going to stay inside his own 30. Good coverage downfield. So the Stars will begin this drive about the 29-yard line. We're going to be back in just a moment with more Philadelphia Stars, San Antonio Gunslingers football after this commercial break. A beautiful Easter Sunday afternoon in the Lone Star State. Things have brightened considerably for the San Antonio Gunslingers. They have scored to make the score 17-7. We're in the third quarter, 5:48 to go. Stars beginning this drive at their own 29-yard line. Chuck Fusina, fake to David Riley, back to pass. He's looking for Alan Harvin, comes over the middle instead. He's got Tom Donovan. Tom Donovan out to midfield. Good pickup, and just like that, the Philadelphia Stars silence the crowd with a 21-yard pickup. Let's join Mike Berry along the sidelines.
Don, I'm down here with the man, Jerry Gordon. 2 big catches, including that touchdown. Tell me about the touchdown play.
It was the sideline, and Rick made a great throw. The line giving protection. Just opportunity.
The coaches told me that you were the big play guy, and you made the big catches in that drive.
I just play a role on the team, and that was my role to do that pattern.
He's really very excited about that catch. He really is, Don.
You got it, Michael. He's a good receiver. That's all that counts. Here we go. Philadelphia Stars first down at midfield. The give right up the middle is to David Duck Riley. Pushing and shoving as the entire San Antonio Gunslinger defense knocks him back. Right now, let's join Jim Lampley at our ABC Sports studios in New York City.
Don, things are looking bleak for the Denver Gold, though they've shown a penchant for coming from behind. They've just fallen behind 17-3 after a fumbled punt gave New Orleans field position. Buford Jordan took it in from 13 yards out. Jordan now with 88 yards. Denver has lost today's starting quarterback, Bob Galliano. They're down to number 3, Fred Mortensen. Don Tollefson.
Stars leading the Gunslingers 17-7. Stars have the ball 2nd and 9 at the Slingers 49. Play action. Chuck Fusina looking downfield for Donovan again. He's got him again at the 35-yard line. A 14-yard pickup and another Philadelphia Stars first down. Pete Rayford on the coverage.
This is straight man-to-man coverage. Rayford, well, Fusina has a lot of time to throw this thing, and Rayford right there, you just saw him leave your picture. He's going to square in, and it's just a good catch by Donovan. Fusina throws it the only place he can, low and towards the ground. Donovan goes down to get it. Rayford goes over his back.
We give Tommy Donovan a breather, and he deserves it as we look at the Texas Rose cheerleaders. In the game in Donovan's place, number 84, Herbert Harris. Philadelphia Stars, 1st and 10 from the Gunslingers 35. That's Riley and Harvin behind Fusina. Harvin, the second back through. He's down to around the 32-yard line. A basic straight-ahead play. A little pushing and shoving after the whistle, but it's a pickup of 3 in any case. Putt and choke, Paul Hanna in on the stop.
You got to hand it to San Antonio's defense. I mean, they were down 17-0. They didn't stop. The biggest play of the game may have been Mickemeyer on that kickoff. When Philadelphia got that opening on the outside and they were running that kickoff back, and Mickemeyer did the only thing he could do, and that was throw his small body in the way. He stopped it, and they held him to a field goal. Now they're back in the game.
2nd down and 7 operating from the Gunslingers 32. The back split behind Chuck Fusina. Fitzy comes in motion to the left side, top of your screen. The give is to Harvey. Chuck Comiskey out in front, over the 30, down to around the 28 or 27-yard line. Number 22, Alan Harvin. One of the Gunslingers, Peter Rayford, comes up with the football, but the ground can't cause a fumble, is the way it's explained these days. Here's a look at what happened.
Fairfield's on the other side. He's like a rover. Now, he reads it. It's an inside handoff. Look at him go inside the block and over his own man. And he'll get in on the action. Number 58, the gunslinger, John Bearfield, but not before they get a pretty good gain.
As long as we're talking about heroes for the Gunslingers, we mentioned before Jerry Gordon, who was in conversation with Mike Berry, John Bearfield on that defense. Rick Neuheisel as the Stars faced a 3rd and 2, but Putt Choate with the fake punt was really the key to that drive in many ways, the drive that made it 17-7. 3rd and 2. If you've seen a play action to Harvard, big rush coming at him. He's going down the sidelines for Herbert Harris. Both of them go up for the ball. Rayford and Harris, they're pushing and shoving still now. Incomplete. That'll bring up a 4th down situation for the Stars as the bounty hunter defense rises to the occasion.
Well, it's man-to-man because they're coming after Fusina on a blitz. Bearfield just misses getting him. Rayford out on the coverage. It's man-to-man. This ball is underthrown. He was beaten, but he got in underneath. There's your blitz for you. As Bayfield almost had it. Now we'll go to the shot. This ball is underthrown. He was beaten. He gets back, and that's a good play there by number 84, Herbert Harris, as he goes up and breaks it up, saves an interception.
David Trout will attempt a field goal of right around 45 yards. Tim Reardon is your holder. Joe Happy is the center from Penn Charter High School, Philadelphia, PA. David Trout's kick is up, and it's good. So the margin has been extended to 20 for the Philadelphia Stars, 7 for the San Antonio Gunslingers. We have 1 minute and 45 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back with more USFL football after this.
Today, the most exciting new ideas.
Don Tolleson, Kevin Kiley, Mike Berry, and 16,590 Texans at Alamo Stadium watching David Trout tee it up to kick it off with the Philadelphia Stars leading, as you saw, 20-7, 1:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. David Trout on the day has had a couple of field goals, missed one, but had 2 from 39 and 45. He's perfect on extra points. He's accounted for 8 of the 20 Stars tallies. The deep men once again are Mike Ulmer and Marcus Bonner, and here's Trout with the kickoff. That's Bonner taking it to the 10, 15, 20, turns the corner, trying to go outside on Mike Lush. He's up around the 30. Lush ties him up around the 32 or 33-yard line. So Marcus Bonner with a pretty good return. The Gunslingers get 22 yards out of that. They'll begin this drive from their own 32. We'll be back with more football. This is Neuheisel on a play action. He's going to keep the ball, and he's going to be tied up very quickly. Making the stop, David Ofer, right in there on top of him. Rick Neuheisel had a play-action situation in mind, but he was tied up by that doghouse defense. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 10-yard situation as we take a look at Antonio Gibson, one of the fine young defensive backs on that Stars D.
You're a defensive player chasing a quarterback like that. One of the most difficult things is not to go for that pump fake. Philadelphia did a nice job of staying on the ground and pursuing him and dragging him down on that play.
Neuheisel back to pass. He's looking to his right. He's going to go over the middle for Gordon, and Gordon has it. Out over the 45-yard line. 1st down, San Antonio Gunslingers. Jonathan Sutton with the stop, but that combination of Neuheisel and Gordon clicks again.
I think you can see the difference in the San Antonio offense, the philosophy. They know what they want to do this half, and they're being more aggressive. Neuheisel sets up very strong, and he rifles this one to Gordon, who's got man-to-man coverage there on Sutton, and he cuts inside, makes the play. And Gordon, not a big target, as I said, 175-10, so that's a pretty good pass.
1st and 10 Gunslingers operating at their own 49-yard line. The give is to Scott Stamper, and he's into Philadelphia territory. Breaks a tackle. He may go all the way. It's a foot race. Stamper against Mike Lush and Jonathan Sutton, and the 2 Stars bring him down around the 10, but what an effort by number 30, the young man from Fort Lewis, Colorado College, Scott Stamper.
I think you're looking at what the USFL is all about. He's 5'9", 204 pounds, number 30 from Fort Lewis, Colorado, and watch this guy run. This is not a big back. You just can't get him down. Good low center of gravity, and he's not going to quit. If he had a little more speed, he's in the end zone. But hey, not a bad effort, huh?
in a great way for the San Antonio Gunslingers to end the third quarter as Scott Stanford takes a breather along the sidelines, and he deserves it. Great second, third, fourth effort to produce that 41-yard gain. Philadelphia 20, San Antonio 7 after 3 quarters of play. When we resume, the ball will be on the Stars' 11-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Slingers.
Hey, here's something new from Texaco.
Ann Roberts here to help Bob tell you about
Texaco soup.
Where the Philadelphia Stars lead the San Antonio Gunslingers 20-7. Gunslingers 1st and 10 on the Stars' 11. The United States Football League is an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Today's game is being sponsored by Ford and your local Ford dealer who invite you to see the 84 Ford cars and trucks. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Texaco, who also brings you quality automotive products you can trust. The give is to Stanford, up the middle, down to the 5-yard line, pumping those legs to the 4, a pickup of 7, 2nd and 3 for the San Antonio Gunslingers.
Great blocking in the front of this line. Now, this is the long run by Stanford just a few moments ago. Garza, Winters, and Thompson close down. Garza especially closes off that hole, and Stamper finds the hole, beats the tackle on that play, and boy, if this kid just had a little longer legs and can get him going, he would have got into the end zone.
Spotter Bill Friel, Statman Joe Cox tell me he reminds them of Eddie Podolak of the Kansas City Chiefs. They are both much older than I am and saw a lot more of his plays. All right, 2nd and 3 from the 4-yard line. The give inside there to Al Penwhite. He's stacked up quickly by the doghouse D. It'll bring up a 3rd down situation.
Well, it's a whole new ball game down on the goal line. It's a different thing. You're in the man defense, and of course the defensive linemen not really getting a whole lot of movement laterally. They'll try and pile it up. The key really is the safeties and the linebackers reading the thing immediately. There's Stamper, 9 rushes, 74 yards, and most of that coming in the last few minutes. On the goal line, you just got to blow them out. That's how you get in there. When you get in the 2-yard line, got to make a hole, get somebody to run up in it.
3rd and 2 from the 3. So obviously they can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown. The give is to Penwhite. He's down right around the goal line. Some of the Gunslingers want a touchdown. I think they're going to get a 1st down and inches for a touchdown.
Okay, Spivey and Garza on that left side here. Good blocking, stands up the defensive end. Penwhite puts his head down and drives to the goal line there. He's carrying Glenn Howard with him. Just short, I believe, just short of the end zone. It's very, very close to a 1st down. Mora is worried. There's the head coach of Philadelphia. He's got to be concerned at this point.
Lee Spivey, number 75, and it is a 1st and goal situation. Spivey out of Southern Methodist calls himself Killer. 61, Rich Garza. He played for the Philadelphia Stars all last year. In the expansion draft, left the Stars, eventually ended up with the San Antonio Gunslingers, and they're glad to have a fine young offensive guard, Rich Garza, out of Philadelphia's Temple University. Stanford, Penwhite are your backs behind Neuheisel. Neuheisel on the sneak. He gets stacked up. Good penetration by the defensive line. He didn't get in. It'll be a 2nd and goal situation.
Well, defensive line's got to get down low. They did that, and the linebacker has to come over the top. That quarterback sneak is a really tough play to stop, and the reason is the center snaps the ball, and if he takes a step, and he's able to take a step, he creates space for the quarterback. If the quarterback gets down behind that center, or the guard is able to get his head over the goal line with the ball, it's a touchdown. Now, Philadelphia did a super job stopping.
Dave Oakley, 94 out of Penn State, a key man in the penetration on that play. 2nd and goal, inches to go for a San Antonio touchdown. Neuheisel, the give to Stamper, he's in. Touchdown, Gunslingers. We have ourselves a ball game.
Well, we know all the reasons you shouldn't be 5'9". Here's one of the reasons you should. Look at Stamper go underneath the tackle. The little guy, 204 pounds, but just 5'9". He gets underneath the defense for a touchdown. And right then, I'm sure he was glad that he's just 5'9".
All right, Scotty Stanford has cut the margin to Stars 20, Gunslingers 13. Nick Mickemeyer with Rick Neuheisel holding. They'll try to combine to cut the margin to 6. It's down, it's up, and it is 6. Philadelphia Stars 20, San Antonio Gunslingers 14. We still have 12 minutes and 39 seconds of exciting USFL football to go. Point ball game as Nick Mickemeyer tees it up for the Gunslingers. Deep for the Philadelphia Stars, a troika. Mark McCants, Tom Donovan, and Herb Harris. They are pumped at the Alamo right now. 16,590. They were on their feet a moment ago. Mickemeyer with the kick. McCants is backing up, and he's going to take it at his 2-yard line. He's out over the 10. Up to the 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. He's all the way up to the 40-yard line. Once again, Mark McCants, the young man from the Lehigh Valley of Pennsylvania, has a big return.
San Antonio coaches yesterday said they might be at a disadvantage on the special teams. They thought Philadelphia's special teams were a little better than theirs, and here's one of the reasons. McCants with another good return as he finds a hole. And that's not easy to do when you're running, to find a hole in the kickoff return team, and he runs it up to the 40-yard line. McCants, good effort.
Ball exactly straddling that 40-yard line. Philadelphia Stars first and 10, 12 minutes, 12 seconds to go in our ball game. Chuck Fusina at quarterback, Riley and Harbin behind him in the backfield. Fitzke in motion to the bottom side of your screen. Fusina straight back to pass. The rush is on. He's got the screen set up. Allen Harbin over the 40, 45, up to the 49-yard line. A good screen to the right side of the offensive line. Let's join Mike Berry downstairs. Michael?
I'm down here with Scott Stamper. They're going over some strategy down here, but boy, you guys really needed that drive.
Yeah, we finally got our game plan together. We didn't get it going in the first half, and we got it going now. So hopefully we can stick to it, and every time we get the ball, if we put it in the end zone, we're going to win this football game.
Well, if you win this football game, the crowd here is going to go nuts, and they'll really remember the Alamo, Don.
Yeah.
San Antonio covered 67 yards in 8 plays. It took them 4 minutes and 7 seconds. Stamper got the touchdown. This team is on fire right now. All right, the Stars at their own 49. They give us to Harbin. Up the middle, he has a first down, and he's 5 yards into Gunslinger territory. Good pickup for the young man from Willingboro, New Jersey, Terry Monroe on the stop.
I thought the call, a very similar call to the one San Antonio had earlier in the game. I thought the call of the screen pass on first down after a San Antonio touchdown. You know, the defense comes, it's an emotional game, and this is a very emotional defense. They come on the field, and they're pumped up, and they want to get after it. And a screen play will let you get after it, but if you get after it too far, they're going to throw it over your head for a large gain. So Philadelphia took a little bit out of the steam of the Gunslinger defense with that screen pass.
Donovan split to the left. Fitzke at the top of your screen, split to the right. Fitzke in motion behind Chuck Fusina. Fusina, the give us to Harbin. He's going to try to sweep the right side. He's got nothing. And he's going to be thrown for a loss as the Gunslingers, in particular, number 51, Rich D'Amico out of Penn State, wrap him up. Let's take a look at what else is happening on this day in the United States Football League. The Generals 14, the Maulers 10. The Maulers had led that game most of the day. Carthon's 16-yard touchdown run has put New Jersey out ahead. And in New Orleans, the Breakers, under coach Dick Corey, have taken a 17-3 lead over the Denver Gold. Jordan's 13-yard touchdown run has accounted for that margin. Jim Mora, offensive coordinator Jim Erkenbeck on the Stars sidelines. They're looking at a second down and 11.5 yards to go. Single back, Riley behind Fusina. Fusina straight back to pass. He's looking to his right, dumps it off to Riley. Riley back to the 45, down around the 42-yard line. It'll bring up a long third down situation as the Gunslingers bounty hunter defense in the person of Mike St. Clair and Rich D'Amico get the job done.
We're down to 9:31 left in the game here, and San Antonio has had a big lift throughout the second half, and most of it came from the offense. It's the defense's turn now. They've got to stop Philadelphia. Philadelphia's been marching up and down the field, and they don't want that margin to get to be any more than 8 points. So the defense got to suck it up here. They've had a couple of injuries early in the game. They had enough time to get their continuity back, and they've got to stuff Philadelphia on this drive.
3rd and 8. Ball on the 42. They have to get to the Gunslingers 34. Split backs behind Chuck Fusina. Double receivers to his left. Fusina back to pass, going over the middle for Willie Collier. Willie has it, but the measurement of where the ball is going to be marked will be very important regarding the first down. Peter Rayford tied him up immediately after the catch.
This is a full blitz on Fusina. Now, we're going to watch Collier here, but Fusina's under tremendous pressure here. Collier sees the blitz. He breaks it off right away, which is what you're supposed to do. And look at the pass delivered. Well, you just can't do any better than that. Rayford's defense is excellent for man-to-man. Collier read it, broke it off, and Fusina delivers the ball. Let's watch this. Now, this is an overload blitz. Everybody is coming. Fusina very calmly drops back and throws it right in the numbers, under pressure. That's the value of Chuck Fusina.
There are the sticks. There is the football. You see the bodies of Putt Choate and Chuck Fusina obscuring our view momentarily. But when they moved, we saw that the Philadelphia Stars are literally inches short of a first down. A 4th and inches situation. And we see a lot of big bodies coming in to help with the blocking. Number 85, Scott Nieselick out of Boston College. He's in there as a second tight end. Steve Folsom is in there. It's going to be muscle against muscle.
That's right. The 4-4 defense is designed to stop this type of offensive play, and Philadelphia needs to get it. We're going to see it. Muscle against muscle, nose to nose here for a first down.
Chuck Fusina, 20 for 28, 255, 2 DDs. But on this play, it's going to be a run. Harvin and Riley behind Chuck Fusina. Everybody bunched in tight. Riley's got the ball, but he does not have the first down. They're going to mark it right on the 35. Gunslingers have held. First down, San Antonio.
The read is all important in this, and D'Amico's the one who made the hit, the ex-Philadelphia star. You've got to read this thing immediately. Watch number 51 come to the corner as Riley tries to get it. He's at the left of your screen here. Bang! Great hit by D'Amico. He stops him dead. I'll tell you, that's linebacker play right there. And he's a guy that came over after starting every game last year for Philadelphia. He's got to feel good.
Give credit to Frank Cates, number 95, another Penn Stater. He did a job of penetrating as well. And then D'Amico with a real lick, and there he is. Mr. D'Amico out of the Penn State Nittany Lions football program.
He looks like a linebacker, doesn't he?
And that is linebacker you, folks. You betcha. All right, the San Antonio Gunslingers will be starting at the 35-yard line. Rick Neuheisel is the quarterback. The give is on a reverse. They're going to go to Jerry Gordon around the left side. Neuheisel out in front of him. He turns it back, and he's out to midfield. Could have broken it even farther, but the defense recovered. Bill Hardee made a key play right there, or it might have been Gonski.
This is Gil Stanky's play. He likes the reverse. He's going to come from the left side of the screen. He's got the Philadelphia defense going the other way. Now, Hardee gives up some yardage on this play, but what a play he makes. Number 21, he's being blocked. You see him here? He holds him off and just gets his arm on Gordon, or Gordon's down the field for a touchdown.
The ball just over the San Antonio 49, first down and 10. Rick Neuheisel at the controls. The fake is to Stamper. The pass is in the flat to Marcus Bonner, and he is tied up right away as he crossed midfield. Glenn Howard, number 51 out of South Jersey in the University of Minnesota, makes the stop for the Philadelphia Stars.
Howard came to Philadelphia, got the rights from the Washington Federals, and that was a super play by a linebacker. It's hard to get out in that flat and get those quick little backs and receivers, but he did it. And with the momentum now that San Antonio is building up, that could turn out to be a big play.
With this offensive explosion in the second half, the Gunslingers now have but 2 first downs less than Philadelphia's total. Neuheisel back to pass. He's got a lot of time. He's going to step up in the pocket. He's going to keep the ball. He's over the 45, down around the 43 or 42-yard line into Philadelphia territory.
That's great blocking by Spivey and Garza and Winters and Arlen Thompson and Ralph Williams. A terrific job. Let's watch Neuheisel here as he goes back. Not much pressure from Philadelphia. In the offensive line, what they do, they turn everybody out. See those two guys? They turn them out. The defense is in coverage, and but for that one last player getting his hands on Neuheisel's leg, he might have gone all the way. Now here's Mills. Mills going to turn his back, which is something you don't want to do. He's in man coverage. Excuse me. Okay, Mills coming up and making the tackle on the play. He's he made the stop. That's good enough.
3rd and 1. Bonner. Stamper. Stamper gets the call. He's down over the 40-yard line. First down, San Antonio.
It's always been true. The one thing you don't want to do is let the underdog into the game in the 4th quarter. It's a game of emotion. You can play over your head if you get pumped up enough, and I'll tell you, USFL football is coming to San Antonio today, and the Gunslingers are handing it to Philadelphia right now.
Scott Stamper, 11 carries, 78 yards. First down and 10 for the 39. There had been questions earlier in the year about fan support for this franchise, but anyone who is here in attendance at Alamo Stadium has got to be fired up about watching this team. They will come back for more. Neuheisel at the controls. The give is to number 43, Roberts. He's going to throw a left-handed pass. He's going downfield for Bugs. Incomplete, intercepted. Mike Lush picks it off inside the 10. He's back out over the 20 and out of bounds at around the 22-yard line. Mike Lush, the free safety, the center fielder on the gimmick play, comes up with the INT.
The know what you can say about this. There's no way that a safety in a game like this should be able to read that play. He should be coming up because he should be excited trying to stop him. Now watch Lush. This play should go, but Lush is too smart. He makes a great play. Man's open right now. He throws a little flat, but Lush isn't fooled. He's out there where he should be, tips it, and has a great reaction, and that's an incredible turnaround for Philadelphia.
When we come back, the Philadelphia Stars will have the football. They have the lead 20-14 with 5 minutes to go in our football game.
This is Mike Barry back at a very warm and sultry Alamo Stadium with Mike Lush. You really needed that one, Mike.
Yeah, we did. We had it scouted real well. We knew they had a left-hander that could throw a halfback pass, and I was right on it.
No day at the beach for you guys.
Not so far, no way.
Back upstairs.
Thanks, Mike and Mike. First and 10 Stars at their own 22. The give is to Alan Harvin over the right side. He's over the 25 out to around the 27-yard line. Nice pickup of 5 yards.
It's a good run by Harvin, and Philadelphia knows they're in a game. They have to get in there, and Harvin meant business on that one. That was the slashing type of running that you usually see from Alan Harvin. It's kind of been missing today on that play. That was mostly his effort, got him about 5.
Second and 5, you see our clock. We're under 4 minutes and 40 seconds in the football game. Stars leading 20-14. The backs behind Fusina are split. Steve Folsom shifts over to the right side. Harvin and Riley are the 2 backs. 2 wide receivers split to each side. The give is to Harvin. He's going right again. Falls back into the middle where he's wrapped up by number 77, Tommy Tabor. That'll bring up a 3rd down situation for the Stars.
That 2nd down was a big down for them because it dictates what they do on 3rd down. They've got about 3, called a long 3, and what it means is that the San Antonio defense now can anticipate a little bit that they're going to pass. I'd look for that short flat pass that they had so much success to Riley with. They got to keep the ball. They've got to hold on to the ball and keep that San Antonio offense, which is pumped up off the field.
Alan Harvin, 22 carries, 63 yards on the day. We are under the 4-minute mark here at Alamo Stadium. 3rd down, 4 to go. Chuck Fusina dropping back, passes over to the right side to Folsom, and he has a 1st down, Philadelphia Stars. Steve Folsom, Mr. Dependability at tight end. Maurice Tyler on the stop, but that's the big play of the moment.
Well, this is the same pattern that's worked for him all day. It's a very tough thing. Now, you've got to hold that tight end up. You let him in there free, and he makes that quick cut. He's almost impossible to stop. The lineman or the linebacker has got to hold him up just a tad. See, Tyler hasn't got bad defense. He just couldn't get there quickly enough.
They mark it at the 34-yard line. 1st and 10, Philadelphia Stars. We are nearing the 3-minute mark. In fact, we'll be under it when this ball is snapped to quarterback Chuck Fusina. Tommy Donovan comes out to the left. Scott Fitzey out to the right. And the give is to Alan Harvin. Harvin pumping those legs for a couple up the middle.
Champions usually respond. The Philadelphia team, a champion last year, Atlantic Division, and of course they do have an excellent squad and a lot of quality football players. They know what they have to do now. It's become very clear with 3 minutes or less to go in the game. 2:33 actually. They have to keep the ball and keep the San Antonio offense off the field. They're talking about it in the huddle, and you can believe whoever gets it's going to give 100%.
2nd and 6 from the Philadelphia 38-yard line. 2 backs once again behind Chuck Fusina. The back shift into the eye. Riley is the 1st back. Alan Harvin the 2nd back. The give is to the 2nd man through. Harvin gets up around the 40-yard line, and we're going to have about a 3rd down and 4 situation to go. But first, we're going to have the 2-minute warning here at Alamo Stadium. And with that 2-minute warning, let me remind you, you're watching USFL football on ABC. For the San Antonio, in case you're just joining us, Don Tolson, Kevin Kiley, and Mike Barry on a beautiful Easter Sunday afternoon in the Lone Star State. We're at Alamo Stadium with 2 minutes to go in the football game. The Philadelphia Stars have gotten a scare put into them. They're ahead 20-14, but they were once up big in this football game. It's only a 6-point margin with the final 2 minutes still to go. Chuck Fusina on the day, 21 for 29, 261 yards and 2 touchdowns. And right now he has the ball 3rd and 4 on the 40-yard line. Count. It's going to be a pass play. He audible. He's looking down the right side for Fitzke, and he has him inside the San Antonio 30. That is a big play, and the Philadelphia Stars always come up with a way to surprise you. Chuck Fusina, though, after the pass, took a heck of a lick. He is down back on his own 30-yard line. That has to be a concern.
Another blitz and a great read by Fusina as he stands in there and takes the hit. Right here, see, Rayford didn't look. Rayford should have looked. Had he turned around a little earlier, he might have got a hand up and got his hands on that and broken up the pass play. But Fiske, of course, did look and made the catch. That's just a great read by Fiske and a terrific read by Fusina.
Jim Moore and his staff have to be a little concerned as the trainers are attending to Chuck Fusina. We'll have Chuck's status for you when we return. Once again, Stars lead 20-14, 1:55.
You get from Chuck Fusina. He can't throw the ball 90 yards, and he doesn't run a 4.5, but he throws it right on the money and takes the shot in the ribs there, and it may be the difference in the ball game. Great play by Fusina.
And Chuck Fusina refuses to stay out of the game. Just had his bell rung, stayed on the ground for about 60 seconds. He's back up and all right. His stats are amazing. 22 for 30, 293 yards, 2 touchdowns. And on that play, we saw that Chuck Fusina is a quarterback who takes a licking and keeps on ticking. He is a quality player. 1:55 to go in this game. New Jersey has defeated Pittsburgh 14-10, so the Stars must win here to retain their 1-game lead. Stars at home Friday night at Veterans Stadium for a big showdown with the New Orleans Breakers. But right now it is 1st down and 10 from the 27. Alan Harvin on the sweep to his left, turns it outside once more, gets out of bounds. No, they're saying the clock is going to continue to roll. Now they're saying it is out of bounds. So in any case, time is out. Rock Richmond on the stop.
Just remembered he was in San Antonio. Let's take a look at this thing. Harvin, watch him make the move here. He's going to duck in as he comes down here. Watch him duck in and then duck back. Well, he ducked in and ducked back out. That's what gave him the yardage that he was able to get. It was a good move and a good effort by Harvin, and San Antonio defense out to the sideline as they've been all day.
There he is, Alan Harvin, doing a yeoman's job today, replacing the injured Kelvin Bryant. Kelvin Bryant should be back for that New Orleans game next Friday at the Vet. He's made a quick recovery from arthroscopic surgery. We'll be back with more football in just a moment. Don Tollefson back at Alamo Stadium. Stars up 20-14. Elsewhere around the USFL, a 4th quarter score has the New Orleans Breakers 20, the Denver Gold 9. Breakers up next for the Stars Friday night in Philadelphia. Right now for the Stars, though, they have the ball on the 22-yard line, a 2nd down and 5 situation. Chuck Fusina at quarterback once again. Give us to Harvin on a counter. He's going around the Gunslingers will take a timeout after tying him up. Once more on the scoreboard, the New Jersey Generals came from behind to defeat the expansion Pittsburgh Maulers 14-10. So they had 2 4th quarter touchdowns. There's that Denver Gold New Orleans Breakers score from the Superdome. Breakers up 20-9. Most recent score, a Tim Mazzetti 22-yard field goal. We have 1 minute and 40 seconds to go in our football game, and we'll be back with the exciting conclusion right after. First, tell the story. Stars clinging to a 6-point lead with but 1:40 to go. Gunslingers out of timeouts, obviously a factor at this point in this ball game. Chuck Fusina, Riley, and Harvin behind him. They shift out of the eye. Fusina back to pass, looks to his left. Tom Donovan in the end zone, incomplete. The referee fell down, but it's going to be an incompleted forward pass, a 4th down situation. Rock Richmond on the coverage.
And it was man-to-man coverage, and again, as you see Fusina leave the field, that's been the philosophy of the Philadelphia team. Let them blitz, we'll read the blitz. They have a lot of confidence in Fusina's ability to read and get the ball to the right receiver, as well as the receivers reading and getting in the right place. Philadelphia, probably the way they've done that is the difference in this ball game.
David Trout, 2 or 3 on the day. He was converted from 39 and 45. This again from 39 yards out. Tim Reardon on the hold. It is no good. So the Philadelphia Stars still lead by 6 points. San Antonio will get the football with a chance to win this game with a touchdown and a PAT. They have 1 minute, 31 seconds to operate with, but remember, no timeouts.
You can't say enough about San Antonio's team. Remember, the score of this game was 17-0 after the first series of the second half. San Antonio, a heavy underdog. That's got to have bothered them. But still, they hung in there behind great play in the offense. 91 yards in the first half, 202 yards in the second half. It was a different offense with a different philosophy, a lot more aggressive. And now they've got a minute 31 to get even more aggressive and get back in the game.
Rick Neuheisel, rookie quarterback out of UCLA, hero of the 1984 Rose Bowl. He's back to pass. He's looking to his right for Roberts. He has Roberts at the 30. Mike Lush immediately there for the stop. Without those timeouts, the Gunslingers have got to hurry up. The only time the clock will stop is an out-of-bounds play, a penalty, or when they have to move the chains. Neuheisel, straight back to pass. Looks to his left. He's got Stamper out of the backfield. He has a first down up around the 38-yard line. Clock stops. They will move the chains. 1 minute, 5 seconds to go in our football game.
For those of you that have been watching this game for a while, you're probably wondering what's happened to Jerry Gordon. They're double covering Gordon because he was a threat in that third quarter.
Neuheisel, straight back to pass. Looking over the middle down the field. He has Gordon. He has him at the Philadephia 47-yard line. Jonathan Sutton with the stop. We are under 1 minute to play. Again, the clock is stopped at exactly 55 seconds.
That was single man coverage, by the way, on Gordon. On that play, ran a square in, and Neuheisel just drilled him, threaded the needle.
Neuheisel going to his left this time. Tended once again for Mr. Gordon, the number 21. Bill Hardy with the coverage. That'll bring up a second down and 10, 48 seconds to go in the game.
This is very close on the sideline. This could have been an interference penalty. Hardy with good coverage. It looks like he... Boy, I'll tell you, that's close. I'm glad I wasn't the official on that. But a good pass and pretty good defensive coverage by Hardy.
Rick Neuheisel is 46 yards away from pay dirt. He is 19 for 29 on the day, 195 yards and 1 touchdown. Neuheisel drops back to pass. He's at his own 44. Over the middle, he's got his man. He's got his man at the Philadephia 36-yard line, Don Roberts, the sure-handed receiver out of the backfield. The clock stops at 39 seconds.
Hard to believe. Excuse me, Don. Hard to believe this is a 2-6 team. You're watching a team come of age right before your eyes. San Antonio definitely more aggressive here in the second half and playing well.
Neuheisel has to scramble. He's in trouble. Gets it off. Roberts has the ball inside the Philadephia 30. Neuheisel was in the grasp, and he still got the ball off.
What makes a high draft pick? Athletic ability. He may not set up strong sometimes, and he may be a little short, but there's not too many guys in the country that can jump up in the air and throw it on the money like that under pressure.
Once again, San Antonio has used a bonus timeout. Their timeout that did not exist has just been taken. Folks, we're only as good as the computer that gives us the information we see. But in any case, timeout on the field. We have 27 seconds to go. The football is on the 27-yard line. San Antonio trails by 6. Kevin Kiley, you got 27 seconds to work with, 27 yards to go. What do you do?
Well, what do I do? I stand up here and talk about it.
Well, I think they have to go downfield. There's no question about it. But if they get close, you can look for that single back formation. Stamper has been wide open coming out as a single back in the flat. Somebody.
George Cooper gets credit for the sack, and it's the in-the-grass rule.
Well, again, I'm glad I'm not an official. In-the-grass rule. Is the in-the-grass rule in San Antonio the same as the in-the-grass rule in Philadephia? Is I guess what we got to talk about. Let's watch Neuheisel here. This is another terrific effort. Now, he is in the grass, but when he's spinning...
Neuheisel puts it up. He's going for all the marbles. Intercepted. The Philadephia Stars doghouse defense in the person of young Bill Hardy. He came in as a replacement for the injured Garcia Lane. He has made the interception with 12 seconds left in our ball game, and the fans are on their feet applauding the courageous, heroic efforts of the San Antonio Gunslingers and Rick Neuheisel.
I think the question is, what else do you do with the time remaining? You have to go downfield to the end zone. San Antonio tried to do it, and what you saw there was really perfect defensive position. Neuheisel might have thrown the ball an extra 5 yards, but you can't fault the kid. I mean, he had it close enough. Hardy was in perfect position. There, you take a look at him, his first interception of the year, and it was a big one.
Bill Hardy out of Virginia Tech, another one of those finds by Carl Peterson, the mastermind of the Philadelphia Stars front office. He finds them all over America, Canada, Europe, you name them. He finds players. Chuck Fusina kneels.
All right, they're running out the clock. Let's take a look at this as you're going to take a look at Neuheisel going back. There's just a few seconds to go, about 20 in the game. He lets fly. Now look at the position that Hardy has. Inside the receiver, the ball's underthrown just a tad, not much, but he's just right there, and that's exactly what you do. The receiver looks, you look, and you make the grab. Super play by Bill Hardy, and ball game's over, and that was the play that did it.
Glenn Starks was the intended receiver. As we look at head coach Gil Steinke, Chuck Fusina's kneeling for the last play of the game has made our final score at the Alamo Stadium in San Antonio, Texas. The Philadelphia Stars 20, the Gunslingers 14. But Gil Steinke, at 63 years of age, the oldest coach in professional football, has to be proud of a team that has really come of age across the board today. Their defense had come of age perhaps last week when they shut out the Jacksonville Bulls 20-0. But today, especially in the second half, they discovered an offense, Kevin Kiley.
They sure did, and I think it was philosophy. Early in the game, they maybe tried not to make mistakes, and they didn't go downfield with the passing game. Their running game was good early, but then Philadelphia...
Having some thunderstorms